Hey everybody, this is Brett. We're going to get started here in just a few seconds. If you could just type yes in the chat if you can hear me. I have turned off the chat publicly just so that we can get through all this material. I've got a lot of great material to share with you today. So, okay, good. Looks like you guys can hear me okay. So stay tuned. We're going to get started actually right now. Make sure you have something to take notes with because we've got a lot to cover and I'm going to be digesting 17 years of information and $1 million secrets here. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and get going here and start the webinar. So, why are we here? Well, here we're going to talk to you about how to start an online business that can make you rich. And my name is Brett Fogel. I'm the founder of Click and Grow Rich, which is one of the brands here at CGR Global. And we're going to talk about the icon down lower corner here a little bit and a little bit in the presentation. Basically, grown some of the fastest growing companies in the United States, I think 500 companies. So let's talk about first things first, guys. So important that you know this. The lawyers make us put this in. This is a legal and earnings disclaimer, and basically I'm just going to read this to you, and we don't like to hide behind claims here. We're just going to be really upfront and share some actual examples with you. So it's important that you realize that this is educational training, and it's provided today is not designed or intended to qualify you for employment. It is intended solely for your enjoyment, personal enrichment, knowledge, and is for educational and illustration purposes only. These are proven and powerful success strategies I've used personally, but any results shown are not typical of the average person, and I assume and hope that most people here are not average, but they may not be typical for you. You may achieve greater success or have no success at all. That's the reality of anything. But like with many things, your results using this information will depend on your efforts alone, and I'm making no claims of your future income. You'll understand in a moment while I'm having you read through this with me, guys. And it's important that if you choose to start your online businesses, you need to make sure you properly disclaim everything. So you don't want to get in trouble with any of the regulatory agencies. So important to just acknowledge that income examples are representative of some of the most successful people like mine, which I'm going to share. And these examples are also not a guarantee of your income or results and not typical of the average person. So individual results will vary. So just if you could skim through this really quickly, it's important that you understand that these results are based on market conditions and individual efforts, action time, and other resources. Most importantly, the education we provide and the strategies we teach are not intended to be a way to get rich quick. There are no guarantees, and you will achieve any of these results or similar results. Fair? Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's start out here with today's agenda. Today's agenda in our small amount of time together, my goal is to make a big impact on you in the following three ways. I want to create confidence where there was once uncertainty, create clarity where there was once confusion, and to unlock within you the true potential each and every one of you have to make your mark on the world. Does that sound good? So, yet if nothing else, I'm here to make you a lot of money and lots of it. So, let's get started. Let's talk about why I am here, and I want to just tell you that this is about making money on the internet. And there is simply no better vehicle today to create time and money freedom for the average person in the world that I know of. And I'm going to share that with you how to do that. And guys, if I'm talking a little fast here, is I've got a lot of great information to share with you. So I want to get through it as fast as possible and be respectful for your time. My promise to you is that during this webinar, you'll discover the simplest and easiest way to start and grow a wildly successful online business that can generate millions of dollars working part-time from anywhere in the world, whether that's home or on the beaches of Mexico or in other countries or on ski resorts and ski lifts and anywhere you can imagine where they have internet, as we have run our online businesses. So if that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and continue. And just type yes in the chat box though for me and let me know if this sounds good to you. A simple and easy way to grow fast, wildly successful online businesses that can generate 6 and 7 figures and income. So what I'm going to show you here is what one little known secret to building a lasting successful online business. It's really one secret and how most people aren't even aware of this. And also I'm going to share with you why most people are getting it wrong. But knowing this one thing can make all the difference in the world between true success and failure. Okay, so how do you succeed where others fail? Well, as I mentioned, everyone else is doing this the wrong way. They're dead wrong, even though they think they know what they're doing. Most people miss this entirely, and that's why 95% of online businesses fail. This important step is that they're missing is poisoning their best efforts towards success. A lot of people are trying to do this, and they're putting lots of time and energy energy and sometimes a lot of money into this, although you don't have to, but they fail because they've missed this one element. So I'm going to walk you through that, and that's really important that you understand. But your promise to me, I'd like you to promise me that you won't waste this valuable information. I have literally been learning this and doing this for 17 years now and have learned a lot along the way. These are the best of the best secrets that have generated millions of dollars for us and a lot of people that we know doing the same. So if I show you this today, how to start, build, and scale a potentially profitable business, wildly profitable business, will you promise me to actually do something with this information? Because real learning doesn't take place unless it changes your behavior. Is that right? You know, nothing pains me more than giving away my best secrets, my heart and soul, which I intend to do today, only to see you months later having the same money problems that you have right now. So what I want you to do is just tell me right now in the chat box that you will take what I show you today and use it as it makes sense to do. Do we have a deal? Yes? Okay. Your reward for this is, and just for being here and present on this webinar and staying on to the end, I'm going to give you a special free gift. And you just can't buy this anywhere in the world at any price. This is a flash drive, or we'll give you an online download for immediate download. It's a rare private interview with Kevin Harrington from the Shark Tank and inventor of the infomercial. He's done over $5 billion in sales. And he talks about the future of selling online internationally too. So it's some really great insights. And also on this flash drive, and here's a picture of Kevin, by the way. If anyone watches the show Shark Tank and you're a fan like I am, you might remember Kevin from season 1. And this is the guy that actually invented the infomercial. Back in the day when they had blue lines and multicolored lines on TV, he was the first one to go to the TV stations and say, hey, can we run some ads on this? And in the process, he generated over $5 billion in sales using infomercials. Well, and he's going to talk about the future of the internet and why he's moving all of his energies over to the internet now. This is an interview here on the right side at my home in Boca Raton, Florida, and my business partner on the right. And he's talking about this very candid interview. It's not available anywhere else, and so we're going to give that to you. Just for sticking around today, I want you guys all to make sure that you have make sure you get lots of value out of this presentation. And we're also going to give you a copy of our book, The Internet MBA, Mastering Your Business Acceleration. This is a book that my business partner and I wrote several years ago, and there's also a video component, a video book course with that, and that's all going to be in this flash drive or in the download file that we give you. Fair enough? Okay, so let's get started. Again, we've got a lot to cover, but is it okay if I tell you a little bit about my background, just so you know who's talking to you and who you're going to be learning from here today? So just a little bit about me, and then we'll dive into the content here. But I've been selling online full-time since 1999. Thank you, Al Gore, who invented the internet, so he says, and without him, none of this would have been possible. Of course, that's not entirely true, but what is true is I've done roughly $20 million in revenue online. And I've built and sold 3 online businesses, including a 3-time Inc. 500 5000 company, which basically it means one of the fastest growing companies in the country. That's privately held, not Fortune 500, but still one of the fastest privately held growing companies in the country. And we made 276 after being in business for 3 years, just 3 years. Number 2 in education in the entire country. And you can see 3 awards. 3 years in a row. These were the actual plaques that were hanging on my wall. So what does that mean for you? Only that I know what I'm teaching you, and you can trust that we know what we're doing. When you grow really fast, you get a nice letter from this. When you get accepted to the Inc. 500, you get a nice letter like this saying, hey, guess what? This is a exclusive club. Like similar people have gone through it. Bill Gates, Larry Ellison of Oracle, and more. So it's just means that we were able to pull off some pretty amazing growth. And I'm going to share with you exactly how I did that. Now, each and every one of you can model the same format and process. We started in 2004 on the proverbial kitchen table with an idea and no funding, no investors, and grew it to 3.3 million in sales 3 years later, and to 25 employees in 2 offices. So pretty good, right? So just means we grew really fast. And here's a letter from a guy named Dan Kennedy. Some of you might have heard of Dan Kennedy. He's written many books on the subject of making money basically in business and in marketing and selling. He's the guy that teaches a lot of the best people out there. And also, I was able to win the Marketer of the Year award when I was one of Dan's private clients. And so again, Dan's the author of these No BS books, multimillionaire speaker, and known as a millionaire maker, and among the very best in the industry. So I learned a lot of what I learned in my formative years from Dan, and then of other mentors along the way. You can't hire Dan anymore; he's retired. And here's an example, actually, of how he's not very cheap either. It cost me $9,600 to spend 4 hours with him one time, and I had to drive to Orlando while he was on vacation. But I have to tell you that it was worth every penny, because what he was able to do is shortcut our success based on his 30 plus years of experience. And so this is just to give you some background that I do know what I'm talking about. This slide's a little blurry, apologize for that, but I can show you these are just some sales numbers that just from two companies alone. Up top, we did about 16 million in revenue, and this is another company here, 1.5, and we've done this multiple times. Now I'm going to show you actual tax returns. Nobody has ever done this that I've seen, and you never really can trust who's out there and teaching you and selling you things, and you don't know if they've actually done this. So I'm going to just do this quickly. We're not here to brag or boast, but just to show you that this is possible. And these are very different year tax returns, both personal and company-wide. But just in 2009 alone, this is almost 10 years ago when I was first hitting my stride. Just in 2009, these are different returns, all in the same year for business and personal. 476,000, 1.5 million on this one, 472,000 on another one, 60,000, 261,000, 99,000, 34,000. You can see these are all from the same year, 2009, and so quite a lot of different activities we were involved in. And so I don't necessarily recommend doing that. It was a lot of chaos in different directions, and so we started consolidating the businesses in 2011. But still, there's a nice return in 2011, 1.2 million. And but the point of this is there's a lot of ways to make money online, and that's enough about me. I want to talk about you guys and how we can help you, because what we're really passionate about is both sharing these ideas about. One of the things I'm really passionate about too, before we dive into the content here, is that business is a great vehicle for giving back. Here's a picture here where me and 19 other entrepreneurs, you might actually recognize the gentleman in the middle, that entrepreneur, his initials are RB, we were able to raise $447,000 for global charities through his Virgin Unite company. There's a blow up of the check. And so a couple of guys in the top circle there's me, and actually that's Matt Mulliweg, the founder of WordPress. If you've ever heard of WordPress, there were some really interesting business owners there on the island, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how that was possible and how we got to go and do some great things. So here's just a quick slide here. I've raised over 121,000, well over more than that nowadays for global charity. But it wasn't about me. It was about the business that I created and how using business as a vehicle to generate money to give back. And there's some letters here from Virgin Unite on the left. Another charity I'm passionate about is called the Caring House Foundation, and I committed to raise $50,000 for them. What they do is they build homes in Haiti, so one of the poorest countries in the world. And I'm proud to say that we had raised $40,000 prior to the earthquakes in Haiti and had the money going to work with this gentleman here holding the check in the center of your screen, a gentleman named Frank McKinney, who runs the charity. He was in Haiti within 2 days putting this money to work to help save lives. So that was great, and I find a lot of value in that. This is the Red Cross ball. That's the president of the Red Cross, my sister there on the left. So I get to sometimes go to nice fancy dress-up occasions and meet interesting characters like this guy. Love him or hate him, the president of the United States. Had a chance to meet him and chat briefly. And prior to his running for office, if anyone liked the show The Apprentice, hey, that was around the time of that. So that was a big thrill. And also donate to companies like the Wounded Warriors, etc. So I wanted to just point this out. If any of you like to give back, business, especially online businesses, is a great way to do that. And in ways that I'll share with you, a way that will actually make you more money in your business and generate revenue to give back to these charities. So some of you might be thinking, what can you support, whether it's your favorite charity? Lots of ways to do that. Lifestyle too. I was able to go spend 5 days on this island that was owned by, if you guys guessed who RB was, that's Sir Richard Branson. And this was his private island down in the British Virgin Islands. There's me down on the bottom right, eating sushi in the pool. They brought out a canoe full of sushi, and with some interesting people there. Guy up on the top is Dean Graziosi. He's been on infomercials for 15 years and used to run $100 million a year business. And that little boat up on the top right happened to be next to us. Turns out it was a guy named Kenny Chesney. He's a big country star, apparently, who was hanging out with us. So, and our boat captain down to the right, again, Sir Richard Branson. And so we got to spend some time with him. Really great guy, beautiful island. And so we raised some money using some strategies online that didn't cost us anything, but allowed me to go spend 5 days there. Now, you can go rent the island, by the way. It's just $47,000 a day, and you can have the entire island. And the likes of Mick Jagger and Spielberg and some of these other people have done that. But anyway, this isn't really about me. I just want to show this to you, in that all of this online business and all of the things I've learned along the way and that I'm going to share with you today has allowed other great experiences like these to come about, like meeting another occasion here, the gentleman, President of the United States, Donald Trump. But this is George from The Apprentice. If you remember him, I actually had him speak at one of our events and became friends with George. He had lunch with him in the presidential suite one time. The funny thing is, when you have seminars and bring lots of people to a hotel, they give you a really nice room for free. So George and I were talking about some business and coming on our company, but wound up not doing that, but great guy. Here's Les Brown. If you know Les Brown, international motivational speaker, beautiful man, very gentle soul, good guy. I like him a lot. And here's Roland Williams, NFL champion. Roland Williams. He played for several teams. Kevin Harrington. So these are just some of the people that we've run across with all this. And Kevin's actually the gentleman I talked about earlier. He's actually a investor in one of our companies in our advisory board. So and then, of course, this is Don King. No real reason I put that on here, just to say, yes, his hair does really look like that. So along the way, you can meet some really interesting people. Also, we speak around the world currently. What I'm sharing with you today is the same process and the same success formula that we've developed, that we now teach all over the world in different countries. So from Orlando to Hong Kong to Houston, Texas, London, we've been several times, Johannesburg several times. We have partners there, Calgary, all over Canada, Boston, all over the United States, Canada, Malaysia, and all over the world, really. So these are just some photos of some of the events we've put on teaching these same strategies and principles. And here's just a recent one a couple weeks ago in Washington, D.C., my hometown. And we did a nice event there down by the Capitol, right down by the Capitol there at the Phoenix Park Hotel. Beautiful hotel there. So, some of you might want to come out to one of the events. And this is just an open invitation. And so come and learn these things. But I'm teaching you as much as I can of this here in this 1 hour. And I'm not here to sell the seminar. Don't worry, I'm here to teach you guys. And then we have some options for going further if this makes sense to you. But here's a couple of our students. Mike and Laura, they've become great friends. They're from London, England, and those of you who forgot or don't know where London is, across the pond here. And Mike and Laura, they've come up with a really great brand that we've helped them with. But what they say is that if you want to work for someone else, you can. If you want to work from somewhere else, you can, but which is even better. But do that with an internet business, because it's really about the laptop lifestyle. These days, more and more, though, it's becoming the mobile lifestyle. But you can literally do something you're passionate about and enjoy doing from anywhere in the world. And we'll talk about Mike and Laura and share their business here in a little bit. Lastly, or actually additionally here, we've got a book coming out called Click and Grow Rich. This is the book launch party that we had recently here in San Diego, and that's myself on the right, my business partner on the left, and this is the book cover, Click and Grow Rich. If you've heard of the book Think and Grow Rich, well, it's kind of like that, but in this day and age, it's online. So look for that coming out soon. And hey, Les Brown, the international speaker, he's one of the world's most famous motivational speakers in the world, and a great guy. He says, if you have something special, you have greatness within you. And more, this is the age of self-reliance, that people are looking for ways to provide their own financial future. And if this is something you're serious about and you want freedom in your life, this is something you want to pay attention to, because this is the age of self-reliance. You can't rely on your job or your boss or anybody else. Stock market, cryptocurrencies, real estate, they go up and down all the time. They're highly manipulated, and the only thing you can rely on is you. My biggest business challenge, just a little bit more foundational here about me. I built the company from 0 to 3 million in 3 years, as I showed you. My business partner found out after we had some success, stole over about 6 months, stole $160,000 from the company. I decided to buy him out to keep the business, but in the end, it got messy, and he decided not to honor his end of the deal. We wound up suing each other. It got fairly messy and ugly, and that resolved. But then my CFO we found out was stealing money, our chief financial officer. So, and then I had other business partner battles. A good reason I'm not in the financial markets anymore, but this was pretty much how I felt. Okay, so but at the end, I was able to save it and sell that company. I was still able to sell that company in 2013 for a fairly large amount of money. Now, I'm not here to impress numbers on you, but I want you to think as we go through this. Wouldn't it be great if you could create an online business and within a year or 2 years or 3 years at the most, and then not only make money from that and do it from anywhere in the world, because I've got friends who live the laptop lifestyle and they run their business all over from other countries, from wherever they are. But what people don't realize is there's a lot of buyers out there for your business who don't know how to build these, and they are very interested in buying an ongoing or an existing profitable online business. So if that sounds good to you, then pay attention because not many people realize that. And so it's a great way to do this. And even after all of this, so the point is, I survived, and I'm here to teach you and tell you the things that worked and not share the things that didn't work. So, is that fair? Good. Well, here are some important considerations because what I'm about to share with you will take you out of your comfort zone. All right, but if you want to have true time and money freedom, which anyone can achieve, then pay attention. If that sounds good to you, then keep listening. But this is where I need your commitment. And so, will you commit to me right now by being okay with getting out of your comfort zone to escape being a time and money servant for life? Because many people, some people on this webinar here may be in this situation. They have a job they can't make enough money at. They don't have enough time or money freedom in their lives, and they're looking for a way out. They're desperately looking for a way out, and instead would love to have time and money freedom. So wouldn't you rather have time and money serve you than you always chasing more of it? Yes? Everyone put in the chat box, yes, if this sounds good, if I've got your attention and you're paying attention, this is encouraging. So just like to keep you guys engaged. But on this webinar, I want to share something with you on how to invest in yourself, but only if it makes sense for you to invest in it. This is just full disclosure. I'm here to share with you as much as I can and teach. And at the end, we have an offer for some of you that might make sense. I'm confident for the right person, this makes total sense. And if you're not the right person, you shouldn't buy it. Fair enough? Okay. Let's move on. But also if you are the right person, it's going to cost you more not to buy this. And this webinar is here to give you the full details. Okay? Fair? All right. Well, a couple things first. Common questions. Can I do this? And these are some common objections people have, and it's just good to address them right up front because people sometimes tune out and they say, "Well, is this something I can do? I failed before, or do I have the ability to do this? Is this too good to be true?" And it's sometimes it requires a leap of faith here, but it's a valid concern because you really don't know how to do this. You don't know if this time will be different. Some of you have tried before and failed, and really failure, what it means is people have a loss of status. They feel badly about themselves, and that's why they stop taking chances. But when you finally get the solution that you've been looking for, it can be different. So I want to present a target that, if you can, as we go through the presentation today, I want to show you how this formula will work for anybody with all different backgrounds and how other people are having great success with it. So fair enough? Okay. And other things like, can you trust me? I mean, you don't know us, you don't know me, I don't know you. I guess you just have to take a leap of faith here. And the whole beginning of this presentation was really just to get to know me a little bit. Fair? Okay. All right. What else? Afraid of the unknown. Some people are afraid to change, and you have to get past that. I'm a firm believer that if I'm afraid to do something, I need to do it because the best experiences and the best wins have come after just going for it and pushing through that fear barrier. And you know how to break through your fear barrier? You just find a why that's bigger than your fear. It's a little lesson there. And so the other issue there is sometimes people say, they might have an identity conflict. I don't like selling. Some of you are saying, I don't like to sell. Well, that's the beauty of the internet. You don't have to put your name on anything. I have a slide somewhere else in a presentation where it's a dog sitting on the computer. It turns to the dog next to him and says, on the internet, nobody knows you're a dog. And that's the truth. You can be anonymous. You can actually use a pen name. Some of the more successful friends I have, they're not even using their real name. So just to put this all up here, though, hey, it's new and confusing, possibly, but hey, nobody was born knowing anything. You have to learn this, and is it worth it? Let me ask you a question: would it be worth it to learn these skills if you could generate the kind of sales that I showed you, or even a fraction of that? Some people just want to make an extra 3,000 a month for a mortgage and car payment. Some want to have a life change, 5 to 15,000 a month, totally doable. Some people want to build a six-figure, sometimes a six-figure monthly business that they can sell for lots of dollars, and that's what I'm here to share with you, the how-to on that. But some people say, hey, is this too late for me? Is this the right time? Well, if you can see this slide down in the right-hand corner, if you have ever done investing in the stock market or real estate or even retail, this is the curve here for the trend curve when things happen. So are we in the laggard phase on many of these? We are. Stock market is highly manipulated with technology designed to take your money. Real estate, can't control real estate cycles. There's a lot of manipulation with mortgages. Still can make money there, but everybody's doing it. Lots of competition. And retail businesses are failing. I'm seeing shopping malls bulldozed. And I've been calling it the Amazon apocalypse for 5 years now, predicting this where we are right now. Business owners, bricks and mortar, can't keep up with the prices. They can't compete with Amazon.com. So they're literally bulldozing shopping malls in Florida and other parts of the country, and that's scary. So if any of you are on or in an online business, or sorry, in a bricks and mortar business and selling things, I would seriously consider use the internet to boost your business, but I would think about selling that business because I've done that and sold one of my bricks and mortar businesses as the internet came around. It was the best thing I ever did. No mortgage or no landlords, no unnecessary expenses or employees. But where are we with the internet? Building online income. We're just in this early adopter phase. 10 years ago, we were innovators, but now it's become mainstream. The internet's not going away, and the biggest growth is yet to come. So you are absolutely in the right place and at the right time. But the bottom line is that along the way, I've met a lot of people who liked what this sounds like, and they are either good at making excuses or they're good at making money, but nobody's good at both. And so I want you to have the right mindset as we go into this, because which would you rather be? Good at making excuses or good at making money? I think the obvious answer is good at making money. So I'm going to push you, I'm going to nudge you a little bit because some of you need to be nudged. And by the way, I needed to be nudged early on, and I didn't know that it was the right time for me, and I made an excuse to not go to a seminar, and I'm glad that somebody nudged me a little bit to go, and I did, and it totally changed my life. Here's an example. Again, Kevin Harrington from the Shark Tank. Is it true? Would you agree with me that success leaves clues? And again, this is Kevin Harrington, inventor of the infomercial and over 5 billion in sales. But he's now shifting all of his businesses online because the infomercial is not profitable anymore. It's way too expensive to run media. And so it makes sense to follow savvy business leaders like Kevin Harrington. Yeah, does that make sense? So keep that in mind. And again, for those of you who stick around to the end, I'm going to send you. We're going to send you the download for the interview with Kevin. It's really eye-opening and insightful. Well, but I want to just share with you, the real reasons that people do things. I want to just clarify that because it's not just about buying a course or learning something. You don't buy the home for the backyard. You buy it for the shade of the trees. You don't buy the camera for the megapixels, but for the memories it captures. You don't listen to music for the notes, but for the emotions it stirs up. And you don't buy a birthday cake for the icing, but to celebrate the next year. Is that right? So really what we're talking about here is a whole new vehicle for you to change the direction of your life and to truly enjoy life on a higher level and really be in control of your life. So, and why consider getting into an online business? Wouldn't it be great to serve more and earn more, as we talked about in the previous slides about charities? Wouldn't it be rewarding to assist people in buying what they already want and are looking for? It's a big secret there. Sell people what they already want and they're looking for. And we're going to talk about some of the ways you can information, sell software, sell what other people are already looking for. And that's a big secret because, again, success leaves clues. Wouldn't you like to make a great living selling people great solutions to their problems or pains and helping people while you make a great income? That's a big reason that people do this. So, will you commit to me today? At least think about it. At least think about it as we go through this. Yes? Okay, good. Well, I want you to visualize for a second where you could be with me in a minute and in the future. Let's say I just transferred $100 million into your bank. All right, let's just play along here. Let's say that I transfer $100 million in your bank. What would you do with that today, right now, this week, this month, maybe this year? How would you build your legacy? What would you do with that and the rest of your life? How would that change the rest of your life? So whether it's 100 million or 10 million or 1 billion, would it be worth learning a vehicle that could get you there? Because there really aren't many other vehicles there without having a high investment or requiring a high investment, whether it's a franchise or something starting a bricks and mortar business, $50,000, $100,000 easy. Well, how would you create your legacy if you didn't have anything other way to start out? Well, this is really the best way that I can think of and I've seen in my 48 years here of starting it out. You can start out with such low capital for an online business, and it's really disruptive. It's disrupting in a positive way the entire world. I don't have to tell everybody that. The best timing is right now. There are 7.5 billion people in this world, and only 50% are online yet. Okay, this is the big economic shift. Only half people are online yet. 4 people, that means there's another 3.5 billion that still have to come online. Does that present an opportunity? Huge opportunity, especially in other countries. When we go to countries like South Africa and Hong Kong and Malaysia, these skills that we're teaching are so new, they won't really even see them for years. So if you've ever wanted to have a crystal ball, you're going to have one after today. But let me just say, let's say if I could wave a magic wand over you right now and make all your problems completely go away, what would you immediately notice? How would you feel? And how would your daily life be different? Just think about that. So, what I'm going to propose to you is you're just one idea away from everything you want in life, from having time and money freedom, creating the income that you want and that you need, and from having the ultimate lifestyle, and from loving every day. How many of you right now love every day? How many of you would love to get up and love every day and be excited about what you're doing and choose your own hours that you work and where you're going to work from and how much money you want to make? Well, this is what we're here for and what we're here to talk about today. But you know what? A question for you. Do you deserve it? Tell me something. Do you believe that you truly deserve it? Some people have issues with this, and that's sometimes a big obstacle. You deserve to be happy and wealthy and a role model to others, okay? Well, you know what? The truth is that if you believe that it's true, it can be, but you've got to believe that and get that into your head. And this isn't some woo-woo, new age terminology here or motivational speech here. I just want to go through that. I want you to believe that you can do this, and that if you believe that you deserve it, then anybody can do it because we have people all over the world that are doing it. Because again, we have the right vehicle. Would you agree with me that if you had the right vehicle to get there, it would make it so much easier? Like if you had one of these, this beautiful new Ferrari, could you get wherever you wanted to go a lot faster and have a lot more fun getting there? Yes? Okay. Because I want you to tell me something else. If I gave you the right vehicle to achieve your dreams and live the life that you want, create your ideal lifestyle, working what you want from wherever you want in the world, with the potential to earn as much money as you choose, as myself and thousands of other people have also done around the world, would you take it? If I gave you this vehicle, would you take it? We'll see. All right, so here's a couple of reviews. This is actually somebody I want to share with you, Mike McDougall. Mike McDougall. And by the way, since you don't know me, and just because of the short presentation, you can look me up online, brettfogel.com/reviews. You'll see a whole bunch of reviews from peers in the industry, and I'm not here to boast or share that with you. Any other reason that just for the fact that if you want to learn a little bit more about me and some other charity work that I do, it's on that page. But down the lower left, Mike McDougall. Mike, I met him in 2009, and he was answering phones for a anti-aging clinic. And I needed help with marketing. I hired him, and this is before the slide at the right. I hired him, and he helped run some of our marketing. I taught him everything that I knew at the time, and then went on after I sold that company. Where is he now? He created his own agency. Okay, and since then, I sold my company in 2013. Mike helped us generate hundreds of thousands of dollars and easily over $1 million. I don't have the exact numbers, but we'll just say it was a good relationship. And I saw this on Facebook not too long ago. He didn't tell me he was posting it, but if you can read down the bottom right, he said, and he says, we started, he's talking about him and his father, because his big why was to help his dad get out of the job that he hated of being a 30-year airline pilot. Okay, so they started an agency, and he says, with a small $1,800 investment, what other business can you start with $1,800 investment? Okay, and you don't even need that much to start an online business. But he says with a small investment of $1,800 in a concept for a business that no way resembles what we have today. Now, 8 years later, they have something that is managed. They've now created or managed to create two seven-figure businesses. How many? Two. But see, that's even old information because he's then merged these two companies using what I taught him. And where is he now? I had an interview with Mike here about 6 months ago, and I asked him in this interview, it's online, and in this interview, I asked him, where are you? How are you looking for this year? And this is for 2017, and he told me $7.5 million. How many of you would like to learn how to generate that kind of money on the internet? Well, I'm uniquely qualified to teach you, and I'm going to share some things with you today that can at least point you in the right direction and get you closer. See, during this webinar, you'll discover the disarmingly simple formula for starting and growing a wildly successful online business that can generate millions of dollars working part-time from home or anywhere in the world. Does that sound good? Right? Versus going and punching a clock and going to the office every day at 8 o'clock. And by the way, I haven't done that. I've never done that, actually. I've never had a real job. I've always been unemployable and done my own thing. So I don't know that I could ever do that, to show up for someone else and build their dream. So if you're doing that, if you're building someone else's dream, I want you to just keep in mind or put it in your mind that, hey, maybe it's time to build your dream. So here's what we're going to talk about here as we dive into this. We're going to a detailed description of the accidental formula I discovered that made us tens of millions of dollars. I showed you some examples, real tax returns in the beginning of this presentation that you can do the math and see that that was true, and how to determine red hot market and audiences in that market to sell to. The big mistake that kills 95% of businesses online that I alluded to earlier, and the simple MP5 MS squared formula that works in all businesses and in all markets all the time. How does that sound? The simple formula that works in all businesses and in all markets all the time. So let's get into it. Here's what else we're going to look at, how to show you actual $1 million results, or I'm going to show you actual $1 million results, and that'll be edited out of any recordings, by the way, so I don't want that out there for everyone to see. For you guys here, you get to see those and actual examples to show you that how we did that. Also, the recent economic activity and event that will change things dramatically and create a huge new opportunity. We've kind of already seen that. I'll just talk about that here. This huge trend in internet marketing, everything's moving toward mobile. And I mentioned Amazon.com. Well, you know what? Amazon is a massive beast when it comes to driving our economy. And some people are making great income selling Amazon products. But there's some recent changes here I'll talk about here a little later that's going to change that. And so that's not the way I would do it at all. But I'm also going to share something new for the first time, and I'm really not sure if I'll be able to pull it off. So you guys are here to see if we can do that. Fair enough? Is this good so far? Well, we're just getting started, actually. I'll hold my questions here until we get into some of the meat of it. Fair enough. So on this webinar, I want to show you the fastest and easiest way for anyone, regardless of your past business experience, race, religion, skin color, pet's name, or favorite ice cream, flavor how to get started with a hot new online web business, working from wherever you want, part-time, still earn hundreds of thousands of extra dollars or even millions as we have done over and over again. This is the outcome that this is my promise to you, what I'm going to share with you here today. So let's keep that in mind. Deal? All right, so here's an example, a live example too. I just want to make sure that everyone understands this is real. These are real numbers. This is a screenshot out of our technology platform, and these are all upsells and downsells, not including the initial product price, which was 2,997 and 2,497. So these are all upsells that came after the initial sale. So you can see $1,408,000 just in upsells and downsells. And I'll show you other examples here. And by the way, hey, look, these are not typical results, and we are not here to teach to get rich quick. But like with anything, it depends on your efforts. But if you have, would you agree that if you had our process and knew the simple formula of how to do that, it would be much easier for you? Yes, does that make sense? Because trying to do it on your own, you probably could do that. It might just take you 3 times as long, or you might not make it at all. And certainly I've learned from a lot of other people, and I've had mentors along the way, as I showed you earlier, and even paid mean old Dan Kennedy $9,600 for 4 hours of his time, actually, and. So he's actually not mean. He's a nice guy, but that's the persona he puts out. And you can't even hire Dan anymore. So you're getting, not only the the money and years and time that I've spent learning all of this and implementing it, you're getting that all here digested into one webinar here. I was going to say an hour. We were probably going to go a little more than an hour, folks. And if you have plans, anything else coming up, change it. There's nothing more important than you being here and learning this. So let's pick up the pace here. Let's talk about the 5 steps. And so finding your sweet spot. These are the 5 steps of creating a profitable online business. Just 5. Finding your sweet spot and the IOE exercise. We'll go into that in a deep detail here in a moment. The simple 7-day fast start business setup. Again, simple. How many of you like simple? Good. If you like hard, that's fine, but I think simple is better. They don't ask you how hard you worked for the money when you go to the bank to deposit it, do they? Keep that in mind. Simple is better. MP5MS squared, the who, what, where, why, and when. We'll talk about that. And MP5MS squared part 2 is marketing, selling, and outsourcing. So, and don't freak out if you hate to sell. You really don't need to on the internet with technology and what we're going to show you. And then step 5 is automating your business with technology. Really cool software platform that we can show you that does a lot of that for you. And more importantly, how do you automate and how, no matter what software you use. So here are the 5 steps. Number 1 is the interest and opportunities experiences worksheet or exercise. And so let's talk about this for a minute. So, question though, why do you think it's important for you to really think through your new business direction beforehand and try and find your true passion? Okay, how many of you know happy attorneys? Do you know any? I didn't say how many attorneys do you know. I said how many happy attorneys do you know? Okay, I know lots of recovering attorneys because they got into it for the money and they realized they don't like doing this anymore. So keep that in mind. And so imagine instead that you wake up energized and ecstatic every morning to go to work. That you love going to work every day. Wouldn't it be great to love what you do? And wouldn't it be great to create your ideal job and make all the money you ever wanted? How would you like to know how it's done? Yes? Just put yes in the chat. I want to hear you guys. Okay, good. Just want to make sure you guys are still there. Good. Yes, yes, yes. All right, fair enough. Step 1, the IOE exercise. What are your passions, hobbies, and interests? What do you love to do? Could be a hobby, could be something you do on the weekend, could be something you do for your occupation. But the first step, and if you look down in the lower right-hand corner in that slide, we're going to talk about the 3 things that the overlap of which is the sweet spot. And that's where we find that most people are most suited and most successful because it overlaps their interests, your passions, okay? And then experience. What do you have experience in? Or in my case, what experience can you borrow? All right, I partnered with somebody who is an expert in the financial market and options trading. I was not the expert. I partnered with them. I did that multiple times, borrowing expertise from book authors and notable experts in other markets. So keep that in mind. See, all of you can do this. You don't need to be an expert or anything like that. You just need to know a little bit more than the next person and to know this formula to then find an expert to maybe partner with. And then the third part of this, we call it the 3-legged stool. So the third stool of this is where's the biggest market opportunity that overlaps these 3 things? Oftentimes, people don't really see that, and we can help you hone in on that. But this is actually a process of elimination. You put down and brain dump all these three things, and we find that the overlap of the three biggest winners or the biggest interests, the most experience, and the biggest opportunity is the sweet spot. But you know what? Like with any stool, if you don't have all three legs, it won't stand up. If you're not interested and passionate about it, and you just come up with a product idea to make money, you're going to probably give up and quit after 6 months, and then you've wasted all your time and money. Or if you don't have experience, you can't find an expert, you don't have any authority, people won't pay you money for that, and then you have yourself an unintentional nonprofit. Not good. If there's no opportunity, that's another area where people aren't going to buy this and it's not going to work. So keep that in mind, and that's the first step. And so when you find that for you, here's a better example. Actually, it's called Ikigai. It's a Japanese concept. Now, why do we not start here? Hey, this is a little confusing. I like simple, but might resonate more with you guys. And I love this. I've got it printed out on my whiteboard here in my home office. Ikigai is a reason for being. What you love to do, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, what the world needs. And inside of that, you have passion, profession, mission, and vocation. And then you have some areas that aren't quite there. You're satisfied, but maybe feeling of usefulness. How many of you feel that way in your lives right now? Maybe you're comfortable, but have a feeling of emptiness, and you're not really tapping into your passion, what you love to do. Or maybe you're delighted and full, but you have no wealth. You love what you do, but you're not making money with it. Or maybe you're excited and complacent, but you have a sense of uncertainty. Okay, so if you move toward that center, the sweet spot for this is your reason for being, and that's what we want to help everybody. That's part of our mission, is to help entrepreneurs around the world find this for themselves, something that they love to do, that they're good at, and they can be paid for, and it helps the world. So this is a big part of what we do. Does that sound good? Okay, well, let's dive in here real quick. Here's a case study. This is one of our students here. I just wanted to share some of her thoughts here because, hey, she came in and kind of learned this process, and she says, hey, it's really expanded my horizons and so much in sync with my heart's desire. You guys are really talented, and I'm so thrilled. We helped create this natural longevity brand. It's a supplement brand with some supplements we found, and she found down in Costa Rica that help people live to be along 110 years old. No claims there. It's just it's a blue zone that basically there's some fruits, little known fruits down in that region that we helped her to figure out and created a cool brand here. But not really about that. It's about how happy she is and she loves her online business. So commitment time though, is this simple and helpful so far? I wanna just kind of check in with you guys from time to time and just put in the chat. Let me know, or just say in your head, hey, yes, this is helpful, and let us know how we're doing. And can you see how this makes sense? Getting started with a new internet business much easier, starting from the point of, are you passionate about it? Is it something the world needs? And all of these things, instead of just, hey, I think I can make money with something, which is where most people start and they get it wrong. Do you think starting with this process might generate a better result for you? Makes sense, doesn't it? Yes, to start where people are already looking to buy something, or you're solving a problem that the world has. So, guys, we're right on time, and we're good job. We're just through the first section here. Now we're going to talk about the fast start. And guys, again, I'm going fairly fast because these are simple concepts, and we've got a lot to cover. So, building a strong foundation, though, before we get into the section, we're building a tall building. Doesn't it make sense to build a strong foundation? This is the Burj Khalifa down on the lower right-hand side, the tallest building in the world. And you can see how they've really built out that foundation with lots of side towers, don't they? That building is so tall, it goes all the way up into the clouds. And it's in Dubai, and it's a beautiful hotel. So, but keep that in mind. Strong foundation is important, and but also to move quickly. Business moves fast. Business moves quickly, and so doesn't it also make sense to act quickly yourself and not waste months or years building your new idea? Yeah, that's why we want to do the fast start. So your future vision, think about your business 3 to 5 years from now, and you're working 15 hours a day max, even 5 hours per week maximum. Think about that, running it virtually from anywhere in the world, from your home office or the beaches of Mexico. You can use inexpensive virtual assistants. I'm going to talk about that, how to outsource a lot of this. You see, there's nothing inherently difficult about any of this. It's trying to do it all yourself. And so we're going to share with you how you can find other people in other countries to do a lot of those things for you. And how many of you would like to have money coming in on autopilot, right? How many of you would like that? This is what we're talking about here, and the step-by-step system to do that. So we talked about the first step already, the choosing your interests and opportunities and your passion, your sweet spot. Now in the second step, creating your business. This is your fast start sequence. So we're going to put these all up here. The first step in creating your business, and by the way, you can do this in a week. Create your business structure. Go create an LLC, Delaware LLC. Just go on the internet and create your LLC, your company name. Sort of good to have that protection because why? You need to have that. And the next thing to get your business bank account. So get a domain name for your business. Just go to GoDaddy.com. Costs you about $10, $15 max. Go to get your tax ID with the IRS. It's free. How many things in life are free, especially with the IRS? Well, this is one. You get a tax ID, just go online, fill that out, and then you register your company with your state. And then lastly, you set up your merchant processing and bank account. You need 1 through 4 to get your business bank account, and you need the business bank account to set up merchant processing. Merchant processing, that's how you take the money. So we'll talk about that. But that's your fast start, how to get your business up and going in a week. Okay, so then we teach you how to make your first dollar, or your goal is to make your first dollar, because that's often the hardest. Once you make your first dollar, you won't sleep that night. I promise you. You'll be thinking about it all night long and say, hey, this actually works. And then you rinse, wash, and repeat. Do it over and over again. And so you're going to probably want to start with one online business, and then start another one, and then another one, and not try to do it all at once. Focus. Focus stands for follow one course until successful. Here's a gentleman, Thomas DeMore from London, also a great guy, and he said, I started with a program without an idea what I wanted to do. Now I've rolled in a process that's fairly easy to follow. Very excited. He's got a project on how to run a faster marathon. So we figured out some key insights for him into that market, and so he's over in the UK. Just another example there, case study. But so getting started, making your first dollar, well, let's see. We just talked about that 5-step process. That's 1 step per day for 5 days. Easy, right? How many of you could do that? 1 task per day. I know we're all busy, but you can do that. Or how many could do it in 2 weeks or even a month, right? If you had a month to do this, which one of these steps are you going to do starting tomorrow when you first get up? Maybe go register a domain name. How many of you actually have domain names already? You might have 20 or 30 of them you're not doing anything with, right? A lot of us do. So after going through this presentation, by the way, it's going to help you narrow down really which ones of those might be the best idea for you. Because it comes down to not the best idea, period, but the best idea for you. And while it might seem like a lot of information, hey, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. You start and you keep going. If you've ever done a big project and you just had to do it 1 step at a time, well, does it help though to have the steps laid out in front of you? Yes? Well, that's what we're here for. So, are you with me? All right, good. Well, guess what? We are now through the second step of Fast Start. So I want to dive into MP5MS squared with you. And this is the accidental formula that we came up with of how I built my last business. It was sort of the secret formula that I had unknowingly been using all along to generate millions of dollars. And see, we didn't really know what we were doing. We were just throwing a lot of different things and seeing what worked. But to be honest, once we figured it out, at first I didn't feel comfortable sharing it or that anybody would even want to know, right? I didn't know what I didn't know, that people actually might want to learn this. And since then, we've taught it to people all around the world in 7 countries. And this year, we're going to be in other new countries as well. So, you know what? It's really gratifying to be able to share this with you guys and to people all over the country and all over the world to how to use this format. So let's dive into it. But I want to give you the quick story on this. It all started in 2014 when I had just sold a year after. I had sold my last company, the Inc. 500 company, and took some time off and gathered my thoughts. And I had started actually a software company. And I had met a guy through a mutual friend that became my business partner in that software company. And I'm going to share that software with you here today, too, because it's really cool and it helped make us a lot of money on the internet. But my business partner convinced me to teach other people how I had built that last business. So I said, well, I think there's no way to do that. You're crazy. How do we do this? So there's this and that and this other way and this method and strategy. So we started to whiteboard the whole process. And that's my business partner, by the way. And he's also was very successful in his last business and retired at the age of 40s, in his 40s, and bought 5% of a top cigar manufacturing company. When you buy a Bugatti, Hopefully, some of you on this webinar will be in that category here in the next 5 years. But when you buy a Bugatti, they put 5 of these cigars rolled in glass tubes on the seats. They're sort of top of the line, $100 to $200 cigars. So, but he came back in. He was bored of being retired. You know, he can only play so much golf, and he was a terrible golfer also. So there you go. But we started whiteboarding this process because he suggested we teach it to people, and magically everything started falling easily into place. There was things like marketing and selling, and I don't want to jump ahead of us, but MP5 MS Squared, the process was born. And so again, unknowingly, I had been doing this all along, and we hadn't categorized it. But he's an old Six Sigma engineer for Bechtel Corporation, more of a right-brained thinker, and so we decided to whiteboard it and put it into a formula. So imagine if you had my proven roadmap that you could follow. If you had the step-by-step formula to use in your own business, and do you think you'd have a greater chance of success? What if you could achieve results kind of like these? And I showed you this one earlier, 1,408,000 upsells and downsells. The second line there, you see 1,000 people, 310 people took one option at 1,000 for an extra $310,000. Well, you know what? Again, if you're solving a problem, this was for a Forex course. If you're solving a problem that for this lets people make more money or saves them 5,000, hey, they'll happily pay you $1,000 for that. So this was that course that we created. And then other results like this one. So total sales in 1 week, $634,000, 591 USD in 1 week, but with 133,000 recurring monthly income. How do you do that? In a subscription format where people pay monthly, $200, $300 per month. Again, not typical results, guys, but this is what we're teaching you. And this was something that I didn't do right away, but once I learned this, we did it over and over and over multiple times, and that's how we generated lots of money online and millions of dollars, like I mentioned. So just keep that in mind. Look, here's the thing. I don't want to oversell this to you with the possibilities here, but I'm not going to undersell it because I want you guys to have your eyes opened like I did. And my eyes were opened early on. Because if you don't know what you don't know, you'll never get into it. You won't dive into it. And then it'll be 10 years, 20 years from now, and everyone else, all your friends will have said, hey, I made all this money in my online business. And you might say, I wish that I had been exposed, or I wish I had done it too. Well, you don't have that excuse now. We're teaching it to you, and whether it's for you or not, you can never use that excuse now that you weren't aware of it. Okay, so my very best hope is that I've at least changed your mindset, and that after this presentation, you'll have a better idea of what's possible, and then you might have your big $1,000,000 idea. Because again, you're one idea away. One idea, is it true that one idea can make you rich if you execute it? You have to actually get off the couch. But one idea can be all it takes. So in this section, we're going to talk about MP5 MS Squared, the simple 9-step proven process that I used and generated literally tens of millions in sales. Also, this prevents the one big mistake that kills 95% of online businesses in 1 to 3 years. Remember, at the beginning of this presentation, I mentioned that we'd tell you this, and there's one secret, there's one thing. So pay attention. But let's look at the entire formula here. M is for market, people, product, places, passion, and payments. That's MP5. And then marketing, selling, staffing, MS Squared. Pretty simple, isn't it, guys? 9 steps. All of these things make sense. There's no magic, crazy, complicated words here. It's just all of the different things, and that's really all of the things you need to worry about and to learn. Okay? Also, who, what, where, why, and when. How many of you have heard of this? Who, what, where, why, and when. And that's how you arrive at a solution. Put your hand up in the air if you've heard of this before. I know you're at home and you're listening, but this is the simple stuff. Okay, so let's look at this as how it applies to MP5 MS Squared. Well, the market is the when, people is the who. See, the most important step is choosing a hot trending market. When is it going to work? When are people looking to buy these products? Because all markets are cyclical, is that right? Then finding people in those markets, because hey, you might have the best market in the world, but if you can't reach those people in the market, you never can really get to them. We'll look at that. And then you look at your product. What are you going to sell them? So we don't do who, what, where, why, and when. We start with the when, then the who, the what, the where, and the why, and then the how. Again, we want to keep this simple, guys, so follow along with me. Let's start out with the market, and so let's talk about that. So all markets are cyclical, right? Some markets come back around again. Some markets are trending right now, and I'll show you an example of Mike and Laura, how they got started that I mentioned earlier in the webinar. If you do a Google search, it's not complicated. If you've never heard of Google, then you're on the wrong webinar. But these days, everybody has. It's a big part of our daily life. So just do a search for top trending products. And this is literally what Mike and Laura, our friends from the UK, and two of our students that went through similar training like this. And so basically, that's all they did. Top trending products, 2016. And the first, what does it say right up at the top there? Matcha tea. I didn't know what matcha tea was. It's a form of green tea that helps you detox. Number two trending product, detox products. Well, there you go. Then coconut oil and nootropics and various other things like beard and oil and grooming products, which are actually really hot today. And drones. This is before drones really took off. Would it be helpful to know ahead of time where the big trending markets are? Well, let's look at what they did. So they created a product around what was number two on the list, number one and number two, matcha tea. They created a supplement. We helped them with the brand name Eternal Vibrance. What does that say to you? Great brand name, isn't it? Eternal Vibrance, and indicates you'll live happily and vibrant forever. And then based on this, they created a very successful business online because why? Because people were looking for it. It was trending. They didn't come out with some goofy other product that nobody really wanted, like some kind of a fat burner or something along those lines that they weren't passionate about. By the way, they're both not chiropractors in London. It's another word. I'm losing it's escaping me, but they're very health conscious. So this was passionate for them, and then their interest level. Okay, so now 2 years later, they've got a whole line of products, and they're coming out with what's being called the Cadillac of protein powder and vegan protein. Why is this taken off so well for them? Because they went and they looked to see what was trending and what people wanted to buy. So would it make sense to find out what people want to buy and then give it to them? Yes, exactly. Now you're getting it. Next step in the formula, who are the people in your market and how do you reach them? Okay, well, maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's Google, lists, groups, chat rooms, but if at least you need to know who they are to be able to find them. Is that right? So it'd be a lot easier to find more of them also if you know who they are. So identifying the people in that market, very important. And if they are limited or you can't find enough of them people, then so is your income. So does it make sense to find a really big market with lots of people in that market? Yes? Good. All right. Well, hey guys, now we're on to product. This is where 95% of people get it wrong and they fail because they start with the product, which is the what. What are people buying in your market? What are they looking for? We just showed you how that works. A simple way to find out is just to ask them. I used to have a sign in my office which was overlooking the Royal Palm Golf Course and had the Inc. 500 plaques on the wall, but none of that mattered. This is the biggest, most important sign I had, and it was just printed out on a piece of paper, and it said, ask them what they want. They will tell you, then give it to them. Really simple, isn't it, guys? This is where I learned it. I learned it at a seminar by a gentleman named Eben Pagan called Altitude. And he taught us how to find out and survey our market to find out who they really were. If you ask them things like their fears and frustrations and their wants and aspirations, they will tell you, and then you give it to them. The examples I showed in the prior slides of how to those multi-million dollar results and the six-figure results was because we found out what the market wanted and then we created a product around them. So by now, is this starting to make sense? Doesn't that make sense? Is this starting to make sense? Wouldn't it be great if you knew ahead of time what people wanted and then you could just create it and then they would buy it? Yeah, it's starting to become clearer to you, isn't it? So this is actually me where I won. I tied for first place. There were 200 of the top internet marketers in the world at this event about 10 years ago in 2007, and I used what I learned at that. This same process, and we sent out a survey to our list, and we found out our people, our audience was totally different than who we thought they were, and what they wanted in their life was totally different than what we assumed. And we created a whole new product category in a week. And then we generated, I think it was 18,000 in sales. No, it was 9,000 in sales, and I donated all to charity, and I won, tied for first place for this contest, and won some time with my mentor here, one of my early mentors. So and since then, by the way, this one subject has literally been responsible for a lot of our success. So does it help? Is it valuable to learn from other people that have been there before? because he had done very well. At one point, he was running a $20 million a year dating company under a different name, a pseudonym, and I won't reveal the company, but he then became started teaching his what he'd learned over the years, and that's a lot of what we've done and what we're teaching here today. So fair enough. Let's move on, guys. But is this making sense? I just asked you that. I just want to make sure I'm not losing anyone. If anyone's lost, I know you can't see the chat, but I can. Just let me know if you want me to repeat anything. But again, we've got a lot to cover, so I'll try to get to questions at the end. But this is the reason that 95% of businesses fail, because they start with a product instead of the when, looking at a market and finding people in a market. What happens? They realize that nobody's looking for that. How many of you know a friend or a relative who came out with an idea, or you're sitting around at a holiday dinner, and he or she says, I've got this amazing idea. I'm going to be a millionaire. And then 6 months later, you talk to them and you ask them about the product, and they say, well, they change the subject, or they say, well, you know what, or they don't say anything. Why? Because it didn't work. So that's why you don't start with a market, because if nobody wants it, it's like diving into an empty pool. How many of you would like to dive into an empty pool, right? You don't want to do that. Wouldn't it be better to dive into a pool that's full of water? Well, a hot market means there's water in the pool. So no market, empty pool. Hot market, water in the pool. Which is better? Exactly. You're starting to get this. Yes, so it's nothing difficult, nothing too hard. So we've covered the when, the who, the what. Let's talk about places, passion, and payments. The places is the where. So where do you sell? Now, you can sell online or offline. Both is probably the best answer. So, smart, savvy marketers realize that the internet is just another media, like TV or magazines, radio. I learned this early on from my mentor, Dan Kennedy, and really the answer is both. Now, if you decide to sell online, there's lots of different ways to do that, and I'll talk to you about that in marketing coming up. So we're breezing right through these, guys, so good job. I think most of you are getting this. Passion is the P, the next P in MP5MS squared, the why. Remember, you don't want to do something just for the money because you'll hate doing it, like lawyers. Lots of recovering attorneys out there. And if you're a happy attorney on the webinar, let me know. Not too many of you out there. I sold my first business to an attorney who didn't want to be an attorney anymore. Nothing against them as people, but I think they get into it for the wrong reasons. So what's your big why in life? Okay, if you don't love what you do, you won't be successful long term in life or be happy. What would you love to do every day if you could wake up and love what you do? Wouldn't that be good? Well, the good news is you can now choose. You can now choose your destiny and your job, or your not even a job, but what you want to do online. Remember, we talked about that in that process. You can choose what your direction is and design the life that you love to do. That's one of the benefits of making an online business. Payment. So how do you exchange value for money? The how. Payment's really the how. So how will you collect it? Well, there's a lot of different options. When you have a bricks and mortar business, you might have a credit card swiper or a cash register. That's the old way. The internet, there's so many ways. And if you, by the way, don't have a way to collect money, as I mentioned, you might find yourself with an unintentional nonprofit. You don't want to do that. How do you collect money? Places like merchant accounts, PayPal, Stripe. A merchant account will allow you to swipe or take Amex and Visa and MasterCard on the internet. Or you could use PayPal or Stripe or Amazon. You can actually pay with Amazon. And there's always new emerging technology like cryptocurrency, mobile payments, RFID. It's a chip like you could put in your pet to find them. There actually is a guy that put an RFID chip in his hand so he could swipe his hand and make payments. Amazing times we're living in, people, and guys, it's in Bitcoin, of course. So whether you like it or hate it as an investment vehicle, cryptocurrencies are here to stay. So it's exciting because never before in history have you been able to take payments and run a business that you can run from anywhere. Why do I keep stressing that? Guys, I had a bricks and mortar business for 8 years. I couldn't go away on vacations very often. I had to be at the business and be there. And since then, I've designed a great life where I can do it from anywhere in the world. So the MP5MS squared success formula. Well, where are we? We're in through the where, why, and how. We've covered the first section. So good job. Here's Mike and Laura again. Another example here. Just what's happened since then, by the way, is this vegan protein. Gentleman here in the middle with a microphone, a good friend of mine, he runs a company called Startup Elevated, and he's helping them get into the United States market now. He's got distributorship and working on getting him into GNC and some of the other big markets. It all came from from an idea and looking online, really simple, top trending products, and then they actually did something and followed these steps and the steps that we've helped them with when they had questions. So, is this making sense so far, guys? I want to make sure good. We're not losing anyone. We don't want to give anyone a brain hernia, but does this make sense? Does it seem simple so far? This process, does it seem simple so far? And wouldn't you agree that if given a little time, guidance, and practice, that you could do this? How about maybe? Just to give me a maybe for now, okay? You don't need to define or definitively say yes. Just say, I mean, you can say yes. I think most of you can agree this is easy, but just I'll settle for maybe right now. All right. So, IOE, your passions, fast start. How do you get started? MP5MS squared. We've covered the first part. Let's dive into the second half of MP5MS squared, the multi-million-dollar formula that we accidentally discovered. So, again, we've covered market, people, product, places, passion, payments. Now we're going to dive into marketing, sales, and staffing. All right, so question for you though, why are marketing and selling important? Even if you hate selling, again, you don't have to do it if you do it the right way online. But if a tree falls in the forest and there's nobody around to hear it, does it make a sound? How many of you have heard this saying, right? Well, if you have the greatest product in the world, in the greatest market, and lots of people want it, but you're not marketing it and you're not making sales, you're not going to make any money. So these are important concepts here. But and again, there's nothing difficult about any of this. So what's hard is doing it all yourself. So we're going to talk about a few things, and so I want to just stop here and pause because I want you to don't want you to feel that you need to do all of this yourself. And so, how many of you have heard of a book called The 4-Hour Workweek? Came out a few years ago by a guy named Timothy Ferriss. It became a bestseller. It's made him rich and famous. And the reality is, when I met Tim, is he was spending 80 hours a week promoting his book, The 4-Hour Workweek, but it worked out for him pretty well. He talks about and made the concept of virtual staffing mainstream. So now people are doing this all over the place. And actually, a good friend of mine has just come out with a book called The 5-Day Weekend. A guy named Nick Halleck, a good buddy of mine. And how many of you would like the sound of that 5-Day weekend? Yeah, well, that's something to aspire to, and he certainly lives that. Many people online are able to live that lifestyle. So I'm not here to oversell it again. I'm here not going to undersell it. So how many of you might want to have a laptop lifestyle? Okay. This is in Miami recently. I was at a seminar and decided to spend a few days in Miami. This was my office for 2 days down at the Mandarin in Miami Beach with my sister. Or even better, a mobile lifestyle. Here's pictures of my girlfriend actually in Thailand, I believe. We're running her business, doing things from her mobile tablet. Okay, and this is a beautiful home we rented out in Mexico for a mastermind. And how many of you might want to come join us to our next mastermind, where people like Nick Halleck, who wrote the book I just showed you, came down and joined us. Here's Nick, myself, and one of our students, Lanny. She came down from Canada. So we actually have a lot of fun brainstorming and masterminding and running our business, because you know what? There's Wi-Fi just about everywhere. So here's my girlfriend's website. Her name's Lydia, and so not only she does some modeling, but she's an acupuncturist here in San Diego. So if you have a services business, look at this. You can actually book clients right online with technology, booking and scheduling. So helping her with that. So many ways to make money online, but and also, how many of you like to travel? The mobile lifestyle, the laptop lifestyle. Here's a good friend of mine, Anthony, and he created a product called the Coffee Shop Millionaire. So he teaches people how he builds online products and information products and makes money from that. He was also one of our affiliates for our Forex products. So wouldn't it be great to be able to travel and get paid? This is at the pool where he had his wedding in Playa del Carmen, Mexico 2 years ago, where I was down and I met some great people. And again, we were able to stay connected and keep our businesses running because the internet is everywhere, even way out in the South African bush. Once went out to two of our clients have a bush farm, and we went out on safari, and guess what? There was a cell phone tower way out in the middle of nowhere with rhinos running around and still could get online. There are just some of the other places that we've been vacationing and still been able to get on the internet. Cruise ships, deep in the forest of Mexico, beaches of Playa del Carmen, Tulum, on a yacht, even floating down a river, an underground river in a place called Xcaret in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, on a waterproof cell phone, Samsung Galaxy Active. I was able to message my virtual team and keep the business running as I floated down this river. How many of you like this? How many of you would like to see yourself doing this? Well, that's what we're here to talk about. And is this making sense? Yes? So, is it starting to become clearer now how to do this and that you can make this work if you have the right information? Well, marketing, we kind of took a diversion there, but let's talk about marketing. Affiliates and joint ventures, here are the 7 methods of marketing. So, an affiliate is where you might go to somebody and say, hey, if you'll promote my product, I'll pay you 50% of the sales. That's how we started our business from the kitchen table and grew it to millions of dollars in sales because there are lots of people out there with the right audiences that will happily promote your product and promoted our product for a share of the profits. It's a great win-win scenario. Email marketing. Once you build an email list with technology, you can send emails out to thousands and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people with the click of a button. Paid media, where you're buying banner ads or Facebook ads. Social media marketing. Hey, you know what? Times are changing and there's so much opportunity. How many of these social media sites are even still around, right? MySpace, gone. Friendster, who knows? Reddit, I don't have no idea. It's more like this these days. And with new social media coming out, there's even more opportunity to get your message out to the world. So, and finding somebody that needs your product or service. Does that make sense? Okay, and that's why it's such an amazing time to get online these days. See, we didn't have all these tools even 4 or 5 years ago. I hired a social media manager in 2010, and after a whole year, we had a zero ROI, a whopping $0 had come in. Nowadays, it's so much easier, and there's people that specialize in this in social media. Things like webinar marketing, where you can give a presentation like I am right now to you, one to many, and there's a huge, huge development coming soon. I can't reveal it right now. It's just going to open up the entire world in every language where you could sit in your home in your bunny slippers, teach a message, share your message, solve problems, and do it all over the world. Hey, how many people are there in the world right now? We told you earlier, 7.5 billion, and only half of them are online yet. So we're just in the infancy of this. So does it make sense now, right now, to do everything you can to learn about this and put it into practice in your life? Video marketing, okay, lots. YouTube is very popular, a way to get messages out. Viral marketing, where other people shares great messages and you don't have to spend money on advertising. And then, of course, offline marketing, direct mail, things like that, the old school way. So, those are the 7 ways, and you can do all of them to make money and get your message out once it's working. Although I recommend you start with one, get good at that, and then move on to the other ones, or maybe find someone to help you who's an expert. Hey, you know what? There's something called the product launch, and you might wonder, I'm just going to share with you, how many of you might want to know how to make $1 million, right? How many of you like to know how to make $1 million online? Well, the 4-minute mile, let's just start here. And you see, for a long time, nobody could run a 4-minute mile. There was a guy named Roger Bannister who first did it, but they used to let lions loose after people back in the Roman days and to see if they could run a 4-minute mile, and nobody could run the 4-minute mile. So then a guy named Roger Bannister in the UK did it. And soon after, lots of other people did it too. Well, how does that apply to you? In the internet about 10, 15 years ago, nobody had even considered making that kind of income online and making $1 million until a guy named John Reese figured out that it's really all about math. How do you make $1 million? Well, find a problem that you can solve, a $5,000 problem, and sell it for $1,000, and then all you need are 1,000 people to buy it. How do you do that? Through affiliates and joint ventures. And if you pay commissions, people are happy to promote you. But so how would you like to make $1 million online in a day? That was the right question that he asked. And how many of you believe that asking the right question gives you a better answer? Well, this is August 17th, 2004, 14 years ago. John Reese set out on a goal to create $1 million in revenue in one day in 24 hours, and he created what's called a product launch. And he launched this product, and he had all these affiliates geared up and lined up to promote it, and all it took was 1,000 sales at $1,000. And you can see in the graphic how he did $1,080,000 in 24 hours. Pretty cool, right? This is John Reese today. Recently, I ran into him, and we were hanging out and just kind of reminiscing about the old days. But it's all math, guys. It's all math. And so people tend to complicate things. So let's get into selling real quick. After marketing, why is it important to be good at selling? Because nothing happens until a sale is made. Is that right? You can have the best product in the world, and until a sale happens, nothing's going to happen. You're just going to have a garage full of it. And, Zig Ziglar, the late, great Zig Ziglar said, timid salespeople raise skinny kids. So what does that mean? You've got to be good at selling, but you don't have to go door to door like the old days. The old days of selling weren't very fun. With the internet, you can stay at home, you can be anonymous, and you can become a great at selling with technology and some of these technologies and strategies that I'm sharing with you. Without sales, you have yourself a good unintentional nonprofit. It's not good. So imagine for a second that having an endless and effortless supply of sales that keep coming in autopilot while you slept. Imagine having a silent super salesman that never slept, but just worked 24/7, making you lots of money. How would that be? Just out there all the time working on your behalf. Imagine having a proven automated sales process that once perfected, continuously churned out cash. This doesn't happen overnight, but if you could create this, wouldn't it be worth it? Steps in effective selling. Okay, here's a great clip from Alec Baldwin in Glengarry Glen Ross. AIDA. First, you have to capture their attention. Then you generate interest. Then create desire. And then you get them to take action. And here he's pointing to always be closing. ABC. But the AID formula is how you get people interested in your product. Once you've done your marketing, you put them through this to sell them into this concept. So here's a concept we've come up with because I want to make sure I'm teaching you really good strategies you can use. Value selling. So V selling is where we came up with something. It's the real money is in the back end or the upsell. The slide that I showed you where we showed 1,400,000 or 1.4 million, all of that money came from the back end sale, which was much more than we made on the front end. And why is that? Because there's a person for every price and a price for every person. Again, Dan Kennedy gem. And a lot of what I learned from him, I'll continue to benefit from for years and years and years. So it was time and money well spent. But this is one of the big ones because, when you get on an airplane, not everyone chooses the same price and pays the same price, do they? So the point is get them into a buying situation, and then what do they do now? Hey, how would you like to upgrade to a comfort seat? How would you like to buy internet? How would you like to upgrade? And see, a lot of that is made on the back end. See, people are more likely to buy again after the initial sale. It's like, hey, do you want fries with that? You see, McDonald's is not a hamburger company. They are a real estate, soda, and French fry company. That's where they make their money. But it all comes from the first sale. They actually lose money on their advertising just to get you to pay to buy a hamburger. They spend like $1.50 to get someone to buy a hamburger, which they make $1.30 on. Why? Because they make money on their fries and their sodas. So now that you know these steps, don't you feel more at ease about the idea of selling online and maybe doing this in an online format? Doesn't it help to have a process and a framework for how every sale is made? Well, let's round this up with staffing. Okay, and I just want to, hey, just want to make sure to check in with you guys. Is this making sense? Can you see how this might be worthwhile to learn? See, here's the big part. I said at the beginning, you don't need to know how to do all of this or do all of this because that's the hard part. If you could hire somebody, imagine if you could hire somebody for pennies on the dollar to do all of the complicated things that you want to do, like customer service, like technology. What if you could do truly what you only wanted to do? How many of you feel like this from time to time at your job or in life? You got just too many things to do and you're pulling your hair out and post-it notes everywhere. Well, imagine if you had someone else doing everything and literally costs, let's say it's $7 an hour, like someone in the Philippines to do all this stuff like check email and schedule your appointments and run your business and tech support and operational support. See, this is what was popularized by 4-Hour Workweek because these are some of the things that your VA, your virtual assistant, should do. Check and filter email. I don't check email anymore. What a huge waste of time. How many of you check email first thing when you get into your office or when you get to your desk? Stop doing that. It's such a waste of time. And then what happens is it spirals out of control and you can't get anything done because you're answering emails all day. Hire a VA, and I'll tell you in a moment how do you know when you're ready to hire a virtual assistant. But here are some of the things they can do. Check and filter your emails, unsubscribe, prioritize, move into a priority folder, answer what they can. That way you don't have to get into your email. And I actually have them post in my Skype, so I don't have to check email at all. They can handle your travel, your daily schedule, and appointments. I just log into my calendar, which I share with my VA, and I see what my day looks like. She handles all of that. Huge time saver emotionally and time-wise. They can do billing and sales and subscriptions and social media, customer support, project management, blogging, all of these things. The big thing, also affiliate management, managing your affiliates, recruiting and payments. And really what's important is you're letting someone else do the things you shouldn't be doing. Where can you find them? This is such a huge, important part of growing an online business and living the laptop lifestyle. You can find virtual assistants in places like Fiverr, that's Fiverr. 123 Employee is one of the largest virtual staffing companies in the world. A good friend of ours is one of the owners. Upwork for specific projects. Guru.com, I like that a lot. Outsourcely is a great resource for finding staff to stay on with you on a regular basis. And then I just heard about People Per Hour. People Per Hour looks good. Here's a screenshot of these people in other countries, and they love to do things like customer support, the things that you shouldn't be doing, and probably don't like to handle customer support. I didn't like doing that, and so I was very happy. And question: how many of you would like to run a online business, right? That you don't have to do any of that stuff, and then let them do it. Okay. By the way, the links to these websites. Hey, we don't have any. If one of these websites goes down, obviously we have no control over that. But those are the best ones that I've used over the years. Well, here's how to know when you need a VA. Keep a notepad by your desk. This is really easy. People ask me all the time, how do I know when to hire a VA? Well, you don't have to hire one full time, so don't be afraid of this. Just keep a notepad by your desk and title it Things I Shouldn't Be Doing. It's a not to do list, okay? How many of you have a to do list? Well, it's almost as important to have a not to do list. So keep that by your desk and start when you run into something you shouldn't be doing, add it to the list. Once you get 5 to 10 things that you realize you shouldn't be doing, go to Outsourcely, hire a VA, go to 123 Employee, hire a VA, check those out, and then have them do it. Hire them from 10 hours a week at $7 an hour. You don't need to pay more. That's $70 a week. You know what you're going to find? You're going to find that people you'll find that you'll start finding more and more tasks, and pretty soon they'll be full time for you. And you will say to yourself, I wish I'd done this years ago. Because why? Your time is worth what? Your time is worth $50 to $100. I charge $500 an hour for consulting. So should I be wasting time with email? Should you be wasting time with email? Isn't this liberating to know that you don't have to do that? You can get up in the morning and do what you really love to do and use your time efficiently. So that's a huge secret, guys. So wouldn't you agree that you could get much more done if you had help and if they love doing what you don't? Wouldn't it be easier to get your important tasks if you had someone else doing the unimportant ones? Now that you're in the know, how many of you are going to hire your first VA starting next week? I hope all of you do, because it's been a huge relief in my life. So, hey guys, guess what? We are through MP5MS squared. It wasn't too complicated, was it? Market, people, product, places, passion, payments, the who, what, where, why, and when. And then marketing, how to do marketing, sales, and staffing. We've gone through the IOE, your interests, your opportunities and experience, the 5-day fast start, your MP5MS squared, both sections, and then the last section here is automation. Remember when I said that when you go to the bank, they don't ask you how hard you worked for the money, do they? No, so wouldn't it make sense to automate as much as you can? Because you can't do all of this alone. In this day and age, with the internet, thank you, Al Gore, you have technology that will allow you to avoid being this person. Because if you try to do it all yourself, you're going to fail. It's as simple as that. Point is, fortunately, and every year there's better and better technology coming out. Well, you know what? And the nice thing is it can allow you to make money. That's how you can make money while you sleep. You have your websites running and your automation running to giving you your time and freedom back. Imagine having a business that was mostly automated. There's no such thing as a fully 100% automated business. Well, actually there are, but they're rare. But having a silent sales robot working 24/7, sending out your marketing emails that you've proven to work, sending them to landing pages and things like that, using some technology. And here's the one that we like because we built it. We had tried a lot of them out there. We've tried all the ones that didn't work. And so since they all were fairly terrible, we built our own and we invested well over $500,000 to build this platform. It handles sells and upsells. I showed you the power of upselling once the initial sale happens. Hey, do you want fries with that? Click here. Do you want to add this $1,000 product or upsell? Click here. How to manage your affiliates. We touched on having other people sell your product for commissions. Well, you need to be able to track that. And also your advertising. Where is that going to be tracked? If it's an ad is working and you're spending $1 making $2, keep doing it. If you're spending $1 making $0, stop doing it. How do you know? You have to track. reporting, where are your sales coming from? And then, of course, email broadcasting and blasting out emails to thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. So these are the five pillars. And this technology, though, is really my secret weapon. It allowed us to generate tens of millions of dollars online, hundreds of thousands in monthly recurring revenue. Okay, I'm sorry, tens of millions of dollars online, as I showed you earlier, with hundreds of thousands of monthly recurring revenue on numerous occasions. Allowed us to recapture otherwise lost sales using technology that reduced order form abandonment by 80%. Because the thing is, even if people are on your order form, for whatever reason, 65% of them, even though they want it, they'll leave unless you give them a reason to stay. And we figured that out. How to easily email broadcast over 100,000 people, and how to manage our sales affiliates who promoted for us. That's what this does, and that's why it was our secret weapon. Here are just some examples. These are older ones. I just want to show you, this is how we did it. And these are only ones I have screenshots of, and there were many more. So, how many of you have heard of Les Brown, international motivational speaker? He says, I'm excited about this because this technology has changed my life. It's changed my business. It took me 3 years to earn my first million, and the technology that you've created allows people to do it in a fraction of the time. Einstein said that genius is making the complicated simple, and scientific technology will help you to win, and you deserve to win. He's the #1 motivational speaker in the world, and he's a big fan of the technology. So, down below, he says, just make sure you invest in yourself. And by the way, we're not here to sell you the software. I want you to know about it. But I also want your commitment, because now, knowing what you know, what I've just taught you, doesn't it make sense for you to learn how to do this? Because you don't think more and more people will be doing this whether you do it or not, or don't you think more people will be doing this whether you do it or not? Absolutely. More and more people are diving into internet marketing every year and every day. Wouldn't it make sense to learn from somebody like me who's done it time and time again? Well, I want you to hear from Susie Bauer. She's one of our clients from South Africa and one of our early students. She said, I met Brett and Daniel 2 years ago at a marketing event all about internet marketing. I didn't know what I was signing up for, but I've gone on to have 2 years of mentorship and developed the most amazing lifestyle and the most amazing business. I found the most incredible experience through this learning, and I think I've found my gift. I love my mobile lifestyle, and I would never have learned this if I hadn't met these guys and started this journey. I'm going to play her video at the end of this presentation so you can hear her in her own words, because she's so happy. She just goes off at the drop of a hat with her husband, who builds classic cars, and they just go on safari and do fun things all the time. So let's recap. During this webinar, I've shown you the simplest and easiest formula. What kind? The simplest and easiest formula for starting and growing a wildly successful online business that can generate millions of dollars working part-time from home or anywhere in the world. I've shown you the interest and opportunities and experience worksheet, how to get started with your true passion, how to get started and build your business in 7 days or less, 5 days or less, one project or a step at a time. The MP5MS squared formula, MP5MS squared, market, people, places, payment, passion, payments, market, people, product, payments. You know what it is. Market, people, product, payment, passion, and then marketing, selling, staffing. Sometimes I leave one out, but that's why we had this webinar together. All the 9 steps, and then, of course, the automation side. So knowing what you know now, don't you think you'd have a much better chance of making money online than when we started today? These are some key questions here, and just put in the chat box. Just let me know how we did here and how you guys are following along. And don't you feel way more comfortable now with the idea of starting an online business and building your own laptop or mobile lifestyle? Yes? Just put it in the chat. I want to see. I see some chat says good. Good, guys. John, great. Mary, I love it. Good. Lots of people saying yes. Are you at least happy that you came to the webinar today? Those of you that haven't said yes yet, are you at least happy that you came? And do you realize the huge advantage that you have now over other people? You know more now than 95% of people out there in how to using these powerful strategies. Do you realize the huge advantage you have now over other people that don't? And can you see yourself using these simple techniques to start and grow your own money-making business online? How many of you have light bulbs going off right now and you're like, yes, I get it. It's starting to make sense. Because even if you use just a tiny fraction of what I've shown you today, wouldn't you say that our time was well spent here so far and that you have a much better idea of how to succeed online? Yes? Well, how would you like to spend even more time together, going even deeper and further into how we can work together to build a highly profitable online business just for you? Yes, just put that in the chat because now here's what I know about you though. Because even if we had 4 hours together instead of just 45 minutes or the hour and a half we've been going, it's going to be hard, almost impossible to create lasting change to give you the full extent and benefits of all that I can give you. No matter how good anyone is, and I'm better than most, one measly webinar isn't really going to create the lasting change you need in your life and that you want and deserve. You need more than that. So, while what I've given you today was just incredibly valuable, as you've already told me that it was, it's frankly the tip of the iceberg. And if you like what I've shared so far, you'll love what I have for you next. And if you said to yourself just a moment ago that you would love to go even further than our brief encounter today, you're going to want to know about this. Because before doing this webinar, I was faced with two choices. And the first choice is I could share with what I've shared thus far, part ways with you, and then hope that you can make a go of it on your own, be successful on your own without using these strategies, or sorry, with using these strategies on your own. Or my second option, I could offer you to take a more active role and responsibility in your success to create a situation where our relationship could evolve and form a more one and done type of deal. How does that sound? Towards an ongoing, growing, and mutually rewarding relationship where we both benefit from your success. This isn't for everybody, but you know what? I choose the second option to share with you today. And, when you see what I have in store for you, I think you'll be glad that I did. So it's a great pleasure that I introduced to you Click and Grow Rich. And this is our training that is now entirely online. The simplest and fastest formula for starting and growing a wildly successful online business that can generate millions of dollars to you working part-time from home or anywhere in the world. Here's what you're going to get. Private access to us and our new online program, which practically forces you to succeed step by step. Complete immersion into our proven MP5 MS Squared process that's generated over $20 million in sales for us online, and a fully set up business automation platform, the Cydeck platform that I shared with you, that was my secret weapon, and that we've spent close to $1 million to create, combined with the original owner. It's $1 million to build this, and it's awesome. Every strategy, success, shortcut, template, video, tool, and fill in the blanks cheat sheet that you can think of. And it gets better. So, but let's dive into this. You're going to get private online coaching, a full immersion into starting an online business in an easy to follow, step-by-step format where you'll get a totality of my 17 years of experience and knowledge on how to create highly profitable online businesses, which I've done time and time again and sold for serious dollars. Also, you get online lessons structured to turn ideas into reality. So you don't just learn new things. You're going to be building a real business that you can turn on for profit, enhancing your experience every step of the way, and the ability to ask real questions in a secure online environment with an online coach. So you'll have your ideas, your questions answered in 24 hours. But here's the thing, many people don't even need that because it's so simple. You see, you're also going to get our 10 self-paced online modules with video of the MP5 MS Squared success formula, responsible for generating nearly $20 million in prior businesses. I say nearly 20 million. I'm sure that it's been more. I don't have an exact number, but it's multiple businesses over the years, mostly online digital products. How do you create digital products that people can download and you can create simply and easily, or hire or partner with someone else to do the hard work? Clear training modules that walk you through all the important steps in the right order, so that you're multiplying your chances of success by 95%. Because remember, 95% of people fail by not following the steps. But following the formula in the right-hand order or the right order makes this process so much clearer, and it takes the guesswork away. So if you want a step-by-step system, a lot of things is knowing what not to do. And believe me, we've made lots of mistakes along the way. And we're not going to teach you those. We're going to teach you what works. And also, you get access to our secret weapon automated software that has been largely responsible for our success and the sales we've had, maximizing and multiplying every dollar. Cydeck can 2 times, 5x, even 10x your sales. That's adding a zero to your sales by using this technology, and even slash your order form abandonment by 80%, resulting in 50% more revenue per customer than any other technology. And that's before you plug them into the back end. So if you're not getting excited right now, guys, you don't know what you need to know more, because you don't know what you don't know. This makes your life better because automating your business will give you your life back and your time as you grow and make money while you're doing it. CGR Labs and the templates, so you get a separate self-paced video training library that gives you private access. These are some of the bonuses. Now, I'm going to share with you in a minute, obviously, or up front, this is application only, and so you're going to find out about that in a moment, but we're not taking everybody. You get separate self-paced video training library, which gives you private access. This is some of the best training in the world, broken into short, easy to digest video segments. Video. How many of you like to watch video in short segments, and you can watch it faster, so you don't have to read lots and lots of things? I learn better by video, but you get both. You get the video and the transcriptions. The video lessons are arranged, and I'm going to show some pictures of these in a minute. These video lessons are arranged by topic, allowing you to access the right training at the right time, from webinars to outsourcing to setting up your affiliate platform, allowing you to absorb 17 years of my experience in under 1 hour each. How powerful is that? And they're broken down into 10-minute segments. So if you only have 10 minutes or you only have a lunch break, you have time and you can choose which ones to learn at the right time based on what you want to learn. Webinars, outsourcing, there's 24 lessons in there and it's amazing. You get the best of the best strategies that you can implement right away in your business in minutes. You can pause the video and implement. We have students pausing and implementing. So imagine what life will be like when you'd be able to wake up as late as you want, throw away your alarm clock, wake up as late as you want, content and happy because you've made money while you slept and on autopilot. Your income is growing monthly as you travel the world, checking in with your virtual team 1 time a day if you want to, from the beach or wherever. You know, I've done this from the beaches of Punta Cana, Dominican Republic to Mexico, because guess what, guys? They've got internet on the beaches now. You can run your businesses from anywhere. Here's another student of ours. Really proud of him. Now, Obama was a war hero. He was blown up 3 times in Iraq. He flatlined twice. He shouldn't be with us, guys. He came back with a renewed zest for life, and now he lives the laptop lifestyle. I asked him to write a free report one time, and I didn't hear from him for a month. He went on to write a whole book and went on to sell 90,000 copies of this book. And you can see some pictures of him living the lifestyle with his girlfriend there down in the Caribbean. His shot on his Iraqi gear here before he got blown up for one of the times. And so, amazing success story. And he's now an award-winning author with multiple books out there. And you learned how to get started through us. So what I want to talk about is Click and Grow Rich, and the cost and what the investment is. So considering what we told, or considering we've sold multiple companies from $100,000 or more, and I'm just going to leave it there, more being significantly more, but using these very same strategies. Considering this, and if we can teach you how to do this as well, building a business that makes money for you, but also that you can sell and take some money off the table and start a new online business. What did you pay for college, and how often have you used that information? Couldn't this easily be worth $50,000 if you were able to sell one of your online businesses for $100,000 or even $50,000? Could that be worth it to you? And I would suggest the answer is yes. We currently sell this coaching program for $25,000, the same information, the same access that you're getting, and we're selling it to students around the world who are happy to pay this, and that is the absolute truth. And we have over 150 people from 7 countries, and so, but hang on, because we're not going to charge you that today. We've got a new format for this. We're not even going to charge you half of that, $12,500, although many people have paid that price for a lesser version of the training. And even if this were a program where the world-class training can help you sell your business for 100K, even if that were true, wouldn't it be worth every penny at $12,500, and you could do it over and over again as we have? So I once paid $9,600, as I showed you, for 4 hours of consulting alone, and it was worth every penny. These skills they've come back over and over again and allowed us to generate more and more money as we went. I've invested well over $100,000 in my education in over 17 years of my life, okay, and generated over $20 million in sales online and offline. My first apprentice is on track for $7.5 million in sales. Actually, he hit it last year. I showed you that. That was my friend Mike, my former marketing apprentice. So do you think I can teach you the same skills? I will say and put it on record, I'm uniquely qualified. Me and the team, I've got an amazing team that will be there every step of the way. So my question for you is, how many of you would like to be next? We can help you. So the investment for Click and Grow Rich coaching that we're talked about today only, your entire investment will be, if you qualify, there is an application process. All right, it's $5,997. But now I want you to hang on, because we have a unique way to help you if that's something that you want to do and aren't able to do that. See, I believe that everything in life starts with decision. I went to spend a week with Richard Branson on his island because I decided and figured out how to raise the $45,000 to go. And I did it in a creative way that didn't cost me a penny. Okay, so keep that in mind. But it's the same information as our gold and platinum students that pay us $10,000 to $25,000 a year, or not per year, but to join the program. We're testing this format out. Why are we doing this? Okay, we're testing out this format because frankly, our costs are 10 times as high to run a live event. When you factor in hotel rooms for 4 people on our team, it's $2,000 easily. Presentation room, $1,000 a day. Airfare for our team, marketing partner commissions. Half of it goes to the marketing partners, so it's expensive in that regard. Meals, food for attendees also, because we basically buy drinks and food for people. It adds up. It's a significant expense. So why not pass along those savings to you? We've been hard at work putting all this training into our online portal, which is awesome, and I can't wait to share it with you because it's that same education that others have paid more for, and you're going to get access to it as well. Now, this isn't for everyone. There is an investment, as I've talked about, and that's why there's a qualification process. Because the reality is that we only want to work with someone who is committed, that's going to actually do it. We are looking for success stories because we have a bigger plan for all of this. We don't want you to join it if you can't afford it's too tight for you or you're not going to do the work. Don't worry about the money right now. That's not the issue. We want to work with committed people because committed people usually make it. And that's why there's an application process. So it's with great pleasure that I introduce to you Click and Grow Rich. What you want to do is to go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply. If you're serious and committed, and you're able to make this investment, then go visit this right now and fill out the application process. And then what will happen next is someone will contact you. So you don't have to spend any money today. You can put your credit cards away. We're not that kind of company. And we are going to get in touch with you and see if we're a fit. But we do have some fast action bonuses for filling out the application process. And there's only a 2-hour window on this. So if you're serious and committed, go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply. And you're worried about the investment. If this is you, don't worry. If this makes sense to you and you like what you've seen and you want to decide to do it, don't worry. Just reach out and apply because we have financing options for you if you're the right fit, and we'll work out a plan for you if we feel mutually that it makes sense. Is that fair? So your decision to move forward, if this makes sense to you, is the most important thing. You decide and then you figure out the how, and we've taken the how part out of it, and so we can share a way to do that with you, whether you don't have the funds or credit. Although that doesn't mean that's our ideal client. We are looking for people that are hungry and that want to do it and will follow the steps. Doesn't matter how much the financial investment is necessarily. It's really about if you're committed. But let's take a look at everything that's included in the Click and Grow Rich coaching. Here's what you get. You get online access, 12 months online access to an online success coach. You get the ability to ask questions, interact, upload files, and get a response the very same day or within 24 hours. So, you're not forgotten about. We don't just give you a whole bunch of stuff and you're on your own. You can ask your success coach. You also get personal help with anything you're having trouble with and specific action items with your coach in a very secure online environment that tracks and keeps everything in one place. So you don't have to worry about email getting lost. The value of having a coach is immeasurable. My coach, Dan Kennedy, I've learned so much from my coaches and mentors along the way. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, I'd say all professional athletes, but we'll say most use one, and that's why they're the best in the world. So imagine having somebody there for you along your journey, where so many other programs leave it all up to you, someone to guide you step by step, answer any questions you have, and just give it to you specific actions to help you to do exactly the next step. So when you go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply, we will tell you how to get into this program. And here's what actual students are saying. These are some of our students that we've helped put thousands of people on their Facebook fan page. Hey, I'm super excited. I have 20,000 likes after 6 days. We've got some shortcuts and tricks that nobody else has that people are really happy about. So when you go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply, you'll be able to get in the program application queue. We're only taking 100 people, and that's over the next 30 days. So this is a limited special offer. And when you apply below at clickandgrowrich.com/apply, you will also get the following special bonuses for free. Now, pay attention because this is awesome. Bonus number 1, you get a student advisor. You get a student advisor who will contact you within 48 hours to make sure you have your logins. Your student advisor will be your guide to getting the most out of your program. Wouldn't it be nice for once to have somebody simply show an interest in your success and offer to help you along the way? So this is different than your coach. It's your student advisor who's going to help you with any questions. They'll call you to make sure you have your logins for SciDeck and the training online that I'm going to show you in a moment to ensure you received your login information, give you their personal contact information, so we don't just hide behind the name and run when we have a relationship ongoing and we have a vested interest in your success. We'll check in with you from time to time to ensure you're moving forward and making progress. We have an accountability coach, David, who will be contacting you, and along with your student advisor. Imagine having your own personal success counselor and advisor to pull you along, make sure you're not stuck, practically guaranteeing that you're successful and completing the program. Okay, think about that. So your first bonus is your personal student advisor. Your bonus number 2, this is an awesome platform that's never been built before. You'll never see anything like this anywhere else. You'll be getting exclusive private access to our online cloud coaching portal and Mind Lab. You can ask Q&A and questions, get replies in 24 hours, as I mentioned. You'll have access to our entire MP5MS training, MS Squared training, including videos of a live event. You'll have step-by-step instructions all the way. You'll be able to mark them off in short bite-sized pieces. So imagine what life will be like when you no longer have to wonder, what do I do next? Which website, which resource do I use when setting up your new business? See, you'll waste lots of time and money if you don't know which ones to use. And we've made these mistakes, or we've learned from people in the industry because we know thousands of people in the industry. So we learn from each other. So we know the best resources we can share with you. You'll be following a proven success system with online self-paced access to all of our training, 17 years of my life successes, and the failures for you to avoid. The part of the iceberg that sank the Titanic was the part people couldn't see. They were driving by and they thought they were in the clear, and we all know what happened. So go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply right now and start making your application in, because here's what you're going to get in Mind Lab. Powerful interactive productivity tools. Watch this. Look at these. Do these look professional? This is not some fly-by-night country or company. We've spent thousands and thousands of dollars to create success templates, interactive PDFs to help you along the way. And these are powerful templates that we've used and simple to follow. So keep that in mind, simple yet powerful. So when you go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply and we go through the process, you'll have access to all of these. And also you'll get our complete access to our MP5MS Squared Core training, and including access to live events. As I mentioned, live events we did, and I'll show an image in a minute, a $2,000 value to attend this event. And this is professionally shot video. You'll get to watch this. It's all broken down into each section, so you can watch market one day, you can watch people, you can pause and look at this. Watch in the lower right hand corner. When you realize that your time is your most valuable asset, well, you can, I guess the popover didn't show there. You can, that gear, you can make it go 2 times speed and go through it faster, or 1.5 times speed. So what you're getting in Mind Lab, 10 modules of never before seen training based on 15 years of in the trenches, real world success applications. Okay, a literal treasure trove of training videos, professionally produced PDFs like I just showed you, homework lessons, interactive PDF homework, templates, online cheat sheets and quizzes. There's nothing like this in the world, and it's not overwhelming. It's simple. It's simple to digest and get through it in 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day. Module 1, we start with the basics, how to build a strong foundation. You remember we talked about strong foundation and the Burj Khalifa. Build your business from the right way from the beginning, because the last step in this process is selling your business, and we want you to build it the right way. Module 2 is getting started. How do you put the important phases put together in building your business and begin setting up your business and brand? Module 3 is audience building or list building, so that you can build lists and have an audience to sell your products and services to. Module 4, Facebook. We've hired one of the top Facebook people to do video training in here. It's an amazing module, and we have students that literally watch the video, pause, implement, and are achieving success. Module 5, product creation, how to create products like I've shown you, how to generate millions of dollars once you know who the market is, who the people in that market are. How do you create product? We have specific steps, whether it's an information product or software or services or Amazon. And then module 6, marketing, how do you market your products? Go into deep dive into those 7 ways that I shared with you. There wasn't time to get into it deeper. And then selling, the steps to get through an effective selling process. Followed up by staffing your business. We touched on that. We've got a lot of great resources that we can share with you and how we do it and run our companies. And then scaling your business. Once you have it working, how do you get it bigger and grow it faster? And then finally selling your business, which you've done over and over again. So how many of you like that? If you like that, how that sounds, go ahead and go down to clickandgrowrich.com/apply, get your application in, and again, we will contact you. I'm going to just show with you here in a minute what happens next. But let's just recap here. So you get a personal success advisor who will contact you. You get Coaching Cloud and Mind Lab, which I've shared with you. And you also get your third bonus is SciDeck. Now I've shared with you, you get access to SciDeck for 12 months, but we'll actually set it up for you. We'll set up your company, get your products set up, have order forms, and you'll be working with an expert in SciDeck that knows it inside and out. Set up your upsell funnels, email lists. Why? Because isn't it easier to take something that's already set up and then learn how to do it instead of having to log in and have to do all the setup on something you've never seen before. We found that our students have much more success if we set it up for them, and with this and this investment, we're able to afford that and cover that for you. So go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply and get your application in so that we can be one of the first 100 to have us do all the setup for you. Okay, so that was bonus number 3. We've talked about your personal success advisor, your Coaching Cloud and Mind Lab. I'm going to show some more slides of that. Business automation software, the SciDeck platform. Now, bonus number 4, pre-built profit templates. So we've created these. If you don't know what business you want to be in, you might want to do information marketing, you might want to do physical products and services. This is a roadmap of how to go through this process to find the best path for you. So it doesn't matter if you don't know what you want to do. It's better if you don't. It's better to come in with a clean slate and work with us to figure out the best option for you. So again, bonus number 1, personal student advisor. 2 is a Coaching Cloud and Mind Lab, which is worth the investment alone. Business automation software, the SciDeck platform, worth over $1 million invested in to build it. The pre-built profit templates, you won't find those anywhere else. But lastly, CGR Labs is the 5th bonus. This is awesome. Imagine having access to the exact video training that you need at your fingertips when you need it on demand, like a personal training just for you, and things you won't find anywhere else for free on the internet or on YouTube. You won't find this anywhere, but your own video library of cutting edge, best of the best videos. Many of them are with me, broken down into easy digest short clips that you can do 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. And again, you have a quick start a quick start plan, but you can learn how to do things like survey selling, landing pages, outsourcing, webinars. You can see all of these, and some are still coming soon that we do live as group coaching. So look at all these great resources that you can use. Just looking at outsourcing secrets, here's an example, great video. And here's where I get to show you the look at the gear on the lower right hand corner. If you want to go through it faster, your time is important. Maybe on your second run through, I usually listen to things at 2 times speed, or at least 1.5. We want to be mindful of your time because it's your most valuable asset, So don't you think you could have a much better chance of success if you knew exactly where to find the answers? Wouldn't it be far easier to make this work watching videos based on 18 years of proven tested marketing strategy by myself and my team? And can you agree with me that you've never seen anything like this available anywhere in the world at any price? Yes? Well, then go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply to get your application in, because we will max out the applications and we will be turning people away, because we're going to have mega success stories coming out of this like we have already in our other formats. So our incentive is to help you guys succeed. Bonus number 1, your student advisor that will be in touch with you. You can contact and get their personal information. Coaching Cloud and Mind Lab, where you can ask your questions and also go through the training like MP5MS squared. Business automation software, the SciDeck platform, the backbone and secret weapon of your business. And then the pre-built profit templates that we have for you guys to help speed your progress along. And lastly, CGR Labs video training that I've just shared with you. So what you want to do now is go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply and get your application in, because I see that we're already getting a bunch in here, and I'm not going to divulge numbers, but you definitely want to get in there and do that. The easiest way for anyone, regardless of business experience or expertise, to get started with your own online business and make more from it part-time than your full-time job. Who doesn't want that? Here's what to do next. Again, go to your favorite browser, your favorite computer browser, whether it's Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome, Safari, whatever, and just go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply and get in your application. When you go to that page, I want you to note the following. Okay, there's a timer. You have 2 hours from this webinar. You will see this timer on this page, and you'll see a short video scrolling through of all the things you get access to. But you see this countdown timer. When that gets down to 0, guys, That's it. We're going to hold off. We like action takers, and we've got our team standing by in the next few days to make calls. So when that baby hits zero, you will in fact miss out on this special pricing as well because we're only doing this for a limited time. We're discounting this significantly at this 5997 offer. And so again, get your application in. We can work with you on how to make the financing work if you need to. If you need to. This is a limited time offer. When that goes to zero, guys, that's it. I'm giving you 2 hours. I just know if you don't take action and apply right now, you won't come back. And you know what? People who don't make decisions fit quickly typically don't, they don't really last. They're not as successful. It's just something I've seen. It's a pattern. So regardless of how you decide to proceed after that, as soon as you complete your application, you'll get an email from me that tells you what will happen next. So make sure to give us your best email. And you'll be redirected to an online scheduling page where you can schedule your discovery call to see if we're a good fit. That will be with our team and our experts who are good at running through a series of questions. But you know what? No pressure at all. If we're not a good fit, we would rather know right now. We'd rather know up front. It's better for you. It's better for us. And so with that, I also want to tell you there's a guarantee. There's a 180-day guarantee. And basically here it is. It's the most generous and result-oriented guarantee on the market today, anywhere. And you get 6 months to see for yourself. Most places 30 days. We give 6 months, 180 days. Go through our training, tear it apart, and watch the videos, implement the phases and steps that a whiz could do in 30 days. But we realize everyone's busy. So I'm giving you 6 months. If you can't get through it in 6 months, guys, you might want to check your pulse and decide if you're really cut out to be an entrepreneur because if that's plenty of time. If you can't do that, go find a why worth actually getting off the couch for and turn off the Netflix, turn off the Apple TV. I've shown you what's possible if you apply yourself, and we've created a fast track shortcut for you guys. You can only make such a guarantee when you're confident that what you have is a real deal. What we have is a real deal. And I'm confident when you go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply, you'll be getting exactly what you need to get started fast, growing a wildly profitable online business that you can keep or sell for lots of money in the shortest time possible as we have. Fair enough? Yes? All right. Let's talk about this fully informed decision. I'm not asking you to decide yes or no today. I'm asking you to make a fully informed decision. That's all. The only way you can do this is on the inside, not on the outside. So you get full access to these insider secrets on the inside to see if everything I said on this webinar is true and valuable to you. And I'm giving you 180 days to make a decision. Is that fair? Is that fair to you? I mean, I think that's plenty of time. Take a full 6 months to put it through its paces. And if you're not happy and haven't made it 2x your investment back, then simply show us that you've gone through the program. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Show us that you've gone through the program, made a reasonable attempt to implement the steps, and we'll give you your money back. And you've got 180 days. Is that fair? Fair enough? Deal? Makes sense? Is that good? All right, because I haven't seen anybody else make an offer like this. You'll soon have access to secret software resources and little known information that has turned regular folks into millionaires and sometimes in less than a year. There are trade secrets that we must protect, and you must sign an NDA. That's the catch. You have to sign an NDA because, unless you're committed and serious about your success and taking action, we don't want you to sign up. Do we have a deal? All right. Well, if the answer is yes, go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply. Get your application in because we are getting more and more as we go through this because you can imagine there is a lot of interest. Would you agree that this is a unique program that you have never seen before? Yes, because it is, and it's not going to be online forever because we are going to spend significant time and resources to make sure our students are successful as we have in the past. Okay, so hey, look, you know what? This requires a serious investment. Let's just be honest. It's a serious solution. We didn't ask how cheap we could make it. We figured out how to give the best and easiest method to implement a program for the best price. If it was easy to get, it wouldn't be worth it though, right? So the investment is the best part and ensures you're getting quality. So go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply and go ahead and fill out the application. And, is it really a cost or an investment? It's not about the money. It's about what it can do for you. This could easily give you 10x or 20x back on your entire investment, and that's being conservative. Did it really cost you anything? If I had said no to the first chance I had to go to an internet seminar, knowing what I know now, if I had not taken that chance and taken that leap of faith, I don't know where I'd be right now, and I'm grateful that I did and that somebody nudged me. So what's the cost of inaction? Let me ask you that. If you don't do anything, where will you be in 6 months if you don't do it? You know this is going to happen. The internet is only growing. And so, hey, you know what? If it's not for you, well, that's okay. Somebody else will do it. But if you go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply, then you can get in on the fast track and learn from us and really get this going for you because now is the best time. And what I'm offering today is really a roadmap that you can follow to make potentially millions of dollars online, as I have, and many more people are doing. And this is the truth. And if you knew what I knew, I'm not here to oversell this, but I would be doing you a disservice if I wasn't pushing you, and I'm not going to undersell it because we know so many people and we meet people all the time that have created a unique way to make money online. One idea is all it takes, and they're making significant, sizable income. And I'm not here to throw out numbers for you guys. You've seen what we've done, and that's not even on the high side. But just consider that working from home on your bunny slippers from anywhere in the world, that's really the biggest part here. Freedom, when we ask people why they want to start an online business, 75% are saying freedom, the financial freedom, the time freedom to live a life on your own terms. So, guys, disclaimer, look, this requires effort though. There no income is promised. You actually have to get off the couch to work on this. Your results depend on you. Duh. Okay, fair enough. But hey, we're here to make it easy and walk you through it. But here's the thing. Reasons are resourcefulness. Entrepreneurs are resourceful. If you really want to be successful, live on your own terms, live life on your own terms with time and money freedom, then you're going to find a way, you'll find a way to come up with the investment if this makes sense to you. Because let's be honest, if you needed a life-saving operation, or your significant other needed a life-saving operation in the next week and you needed to come up with 595997, would you just say no? You would find a way because that's what you would have to you'd want to do that. What are the options, the alternatives? So hey, you know what? Look, this is your decision, but I think I'm nudging you to make sure that you put it in perspective because again, we can help you. The money is not the issue. We'll talk about that. But here's a summary of what's included. 12 months access to our amazing online training inside Mind Lab, access to your success coach and student advisor, plus SciDeck. You get access to CGR Labs, your treasure trove of concise video trainings. Why is that important? You don't have hours and hours to go through this. We know that. We've made these concise for you to get through. Watch in short bits, speed them up, on any and all of the important topics you may ever need to learn online. These are things that have taken me 17 years and $100,000 plus to learn, and that's conservative. Broken down into concise trainings that you can watch and learn from. Thorough training on a proprietary MP5 MS squared success formula that we've taught all over the world and have people implementing in multiple countries and having great success with. And the process responsible for over 20 million in online sales that you can now follow. So when you go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply, again, I'm encouraging you to do that because we are seeing the applications come in and we won't be doing this forever. So here's your chance. Here's your chance to change the direction of your life, to get in on the process of making money online and building a laptop lifestyle. The investment, 5997 or 12 payments of $500. If you don't have that available, contact us and apply. If you are serious and you'll do the work, we can work with you on the how. But this is what it looks like. So this is the lowest we've ever offered it, and likely the lowest we'll ever offer it. Certainly with everything you're getting right now, it is. This is going up to $10,000, more toward the regular price. So go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply, and at this point, I'd see that some people have already applied. Obviously, I've been mentioning that to you, and if you're still here, though, I can tell you that you're getting ready to apply, but you have a question you need answered first before making that decision. You're in a maybe state. Fair enough? So let's address those questions in the time we have left, okay? The biggest objections we hear relate to time and money. Let's talk about money, all right? Let's talk about that. It's the elephant in the room. I get it. This ain't chump change. This is a serious investment for a serious person because we have a serious offer here to change your life. Not our lives. We're okay. This is for you. This is change your life. And again, we've got a bigger opportunity here for everybody and ourselves. So this is a stepping stone in terms of how do we help you guys become successful and finding a bigger win later and even some ways to partner with us. So if the price tag is your primary concern, let's just be honest with each other. A lot of people say they can't afford it. Well, let's call them what they are. They're liars. They're well-intentioned liars, but nonetheless, they're liars. Again, if you needed that money for an operation, you would find it. All right. So if you have to sit there and say to yourself, I would buy it if only I could afford it, You need to listen closely because what we have here today to get started with for 5997, which of course is nothing to sneeze at, but let's say if instead of having to invest 5997, you had to get that operation and save somebody for yourself or somebody close to you, you would find it. You would find it. Find a way to do it. You wouldn't say, "Oh, I can't afford that. I'll just die," would you? No, of course not. So go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply and get the process started. We can work with you on the how, as I've mentioned. So let's get rid of the myth of whether or not you can afford this or not. Okay, the real question is, are you willing to do what it takes to make this investment or not? And as you sit here today, you have one of three options. You can do nothing, and as Aristotle put it best, say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. Or you doing nothing just doesn't leave you with a problem though, does it? It makes the problem worse the longer you do nothing. So that's not it. You can do something else, but why? You know and I know what's right in front of you is the best option to take unless you don't like money. If you don't like money, you're in the wrong webinar. If you do like money, go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply, get your application in right now. That's number three. Okay, the option number three is just do it. Yes, the money may be tight. I understand that. I've been there before, but every time I had to stretch a little bit, it was worth it in spades. And so I'm here to nudge you as your success coach and your number one fan. But you're going to have to go out of your comfort zone a bit to do it. And not all of you. Some of you, this is not really hard. 595997. Giving you what we're giving you, many of you recognize the value here, and we have again 100 plus, 150 plus people that have invested $25,000. So, where do you think all the growth will come from? That's why you need to quit lying to me, and more importantly to yourself. And like I'm being this friendly nudge here. Just do what needs to be done. Sign up right now, and we can quit screwing around and we can get down to business. Fair enough? Okay. All right. Just a little tough love with you guys because we have sat face to face with lots of people, and we've heard all the excuses. And without exception, people have thanked us for the nudge to get in. So what I want you to do, if this makes sense to you, go to clickandgrowrich.com and /apply and get your application in. Is you have time, we're going to interview you and contact you, and we'll go through it. So, and you've heard the 1-880-day guarantee. I'm not going to oversell that. It's either right or wrong for you. But for those of you who haven't signed up yet, and from a financial point of view, feel comfortable knowing you can make this investment without breaking a sweat, your question is the real question because it ain't about the money. It's about the time. As I mentioned, some of you, it's not, $6,000, it's not hard to put on a credit card. And, so many of you, though, we are busy. These are the two big objections we get. You know what? Money can be replenished. Once time is gone, it's gone forever. So you want to know if, in addition to the monetary investment, what's required of your time. I get it. And here's what I want to know about you, though. The first thing I know is that you can make time for things that are worthwhile. Is that right? In fact, you're here because right now we've been on close to 2 hours already in this webinar. I know you have time. If I still have you on, you have the time. Money can be replaced, but time cannot. And it's what you do with the time that you have that matters. Is that true? Because this won't take time if it will give you back your time in the long run. This is investment in your time. And this required a lot of time that we wouldn't have all these success stories. You've already invested your time by being here today. And so if you're saying to yourself, when I have more time, then I'll do it, it'll devastate you, okay? Because the road called someday, this is one of my favorite sayings, the road called someday leads to a town called nowhere. Not having enough time is a myth. It's what you choose to do with it, and if it's important, you'll do it. And I'll work half a day weekends regularly. I'll make time in the evenings if it's important. So, is it true there's more opportunities out there than ever before? Yes, there is. As far as time, more financial opportunities. But isn't it also true though that we have the same 24 hours in a day? And the same 7 days in a week. It's not so much about how much time you have, it's about what you do with the time you have. Do you have enough time? Well, the only thing is given not equally to each and every one of us. So we're all given the same amount of time. So, if there's nothing else evenly and fairly distributed this time, it's not about how much you have, it's what you do with the time that you have. And so here's what I want you to do. If I can show you how to do this and save time, actually have more free time than you currently do, would you sign up then? Here's what I want you to do. Mentally, I want you to begin making a list of the 5 things that consistently you do to try to increase your wealth, the 5 things that you're doing right now. Okay, now I want you to take them, order them from the most effective to least effective. And the least effective thing that you find yourself doing often to move forward towards your financial goals, I want you to just cross it out. I want you to cross it out and replace it with, take a big red marker, cross it out, and put in its place, Click and Grow Rich. All right, and go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply and get your application in because this is going to be at least, if not the best option, it will certainly be better than the fifth one that you're trying right now that isn't working. Because what you're doing right now isn't cutting it, is it? If you knew for certain you could achieve financial freedom, would you wake up 15 minutes earlier, 5 days a week, maybe go to bed later? 15 minutes, 30 minutes, a couple hours, turn off the TV, turn off Game of Thrones reruns. All right. If what you were doing was working, you wouldn't be here. So, congratulations. That's all you need to get started. And get started, you will. Go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply right now because it's time, and the less time you currently have in your life, the more time this will make for you. Now that we've covered the investment and time commitment, guys, though, I want to show you that, and I've showed you that anyone who's serious about this can do it, can make a go of it and be successful. What really matters is the following question: will you give yourself permission? Not everyone can do that. You need to give yourself permission to do this and get out of your comfort zone. So apply right now. Give yourself a chance at living the life you've always wanted. Give yourself permission to succeed. Invest in your future right now by going to the link below, clickandgrowrich.com/apply, and apply to be my big next success story and our big next success story because we are a team. The investment is $5,997 or 12 payments of $500. But we do have other finance options. We understand that sometimes people get jammed up and credit isn't always available. Well, we have an option, although it's not the preferred option, and this is the best way to do it. So we've got some fast track bonuses for you too. But let's talk about this cost of inaction. You know, if you pass on this, sure you could do that, but why would you do that when you can save thousands of hours? Literally thousands of hours learning this, headaches and heartaches, simply investing in yourself, exchanging a relatively small amount of money for my proven roadmap to success. If you've gone to college, this is the cost of a semester, or a year at a community college. You cannot get this kind of education and financial freedom potential for anywhere like this. Breeze past pitfalls and hidden dangers as I give you insider success secrets and my thousands of hours of experience over the last 18 years. This is the culmination of my entire career, and we've put it all into a very prolific and concise platform that allows you to shortcut your road to success and make money in months, not years, for a relatively low investment and low risk. When you look at stock market, let me tell you something. If you think you're going to learn the stock market and be successful, plan on losing $50,000 of your own money. Even if you paper trade and made money there, it's a different animal. I used to be in that business, and one of the reasons we got out is that so many people were having trouble. We had the best education in the world, but people, the biggest obstacle was in their head. Plus, Wall Street's manipulated and is designed to take your money. So that isn't the place. Real estate, hey, we're due for a correction. Most cycles take 9 years. Last correction was in 2010. Are we due? A lot of people say we're ready for the next big real estate correction. Frankly, I know this is the deal of the century if you think about it. And so if you agree with me, go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply and get started here. So, what is money really good for? It's not what it costs, it's what you get for the value in exchange of the money used to use it, to get it. Besides burning it to stay warm, which obviously you're not going to do, there's little value in having money. Money's only good for what you can exchange it for. Your hope is whatever you get in exchange for the money is better than keeping the money or spending it on something else. You say that again. Money's only good for what you can exchange it for. Your hope is whatever you get in exchange is better than keeping your money or spending it on something else. So if you're out blowing it on TVs, cars, and shopping, you're blowing your chance for your success in the future. But if you invest it correctly, look what it could do for you. And here's what I know about you. You want and you need money to exchange money to improve your life. How can you feel more comfortable exchanging it for what I'm offering you today than something or nothing else? What would you need to know for certain to feel confident to make this exchange? Well, let's take a look at that. I'm certain that I've given enough time, money, and effort, trial and error, or if given enough time, money, effort, trial and error, you could figure out everything I've done here, but it might take you 10, 20 years. Wouldn't you rather shortcut that? I have no doubt, because making money online is simple. Once you get rid of what not to do, a lot of it is knowing what not to do and avoiding those hidden dangers and pitfalls. It's a huge part of anything in life, and knowing where the hidden dangers and wrong turns are. So, if you value your time, well, I know everybody does. I know without the slightest doubt that the shortcuts you get with Click and Grow Rich will save 1,000 hours easy in figuring it all out on your own. So when you go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply and you're accepted, you'll have access to all of this information and a success coach and a step-by-step system so you know what to do every step of the way. But let's forget all of that. Let's say it only saves you 200 hours. Forget how much easier it would be than figuring it out on your own. Forget how much embarrassment you'll avoid by not making the same dumb mistakes I made trying to figure it out. See, a lot of people, they quit because they make mistakes and then they feel stupid or people criticize them. So you're not going to have that happen. Forget the thousands of dollars you spent in other wrong directions because you don't have to worry about that now. Instead, imagine the feeling of confidence you'll have following a proven success system. A proven success system because I have proven it over and over and over again instead of trying to figure it out on your own. So go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply, get your application in. Let's just talk about the time. If the only thing you saved was 200 hours by investing in this program, and I've easily invested over 2,000, let's do the math. The investment is 5,997. That's $29.99 per hour in savings. Okay, and if you make less than $29.99 per hour currently, then this may not make sense for you unless you value your time more than $30 an hour with family, friends, and in terms of freedom, which I think I would guess most people do. Okay, then go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply right now. And if you value your time as much as most people do, this is a great deal because in addition to getting everything you need to start in your own online business from scratch and grow it to 6 and 7 figures a year in sales like I have, you now have an extra 200 hours of freedom to enjoy in your life. And when you combine that with the long term create cash on demand skills you'll be learning in this program, you know the only intelligent choice you can make is to sign up right now at clickandgrowrich.com/apply. Okay, old habits die hard. I get it, even the ones that work against you are hard to change, aren't they? That's why you've been struggling with achieving time and money freedom so far, despite your best attempts to solve it on your own. If it were easy, and if we're being honest with each other, this one webinar right now is highly unlikely to forge new, more empowering habits in your life that give you lasting change for you and your family and the freedom you deserve. Even if you make progress based on what we discussed today, chances are it'll be temporary. Willpower usually doesn't take you very far, does it? And your old habits will creep back in and you'll end up right where you started. That's why I'm not going to let that happen. I want to see you guys, each and every one of you that this makes sense for and to get in the program. clickandgrowrich.com/apply. If you're serious about having true everlasting change in your habits, you can live life on your own terms, create a money while you sleep mobile lifestyle where you can work as much as you want, when you want, and earn how much money you want. You're going to need repeated exposure to an environment where everything right down to the last detail has been designed and hardwired into success in your life. And that's what we've done with the Clicking Grow Rich program. Plus, we have a Facebook page, a great community that I didn't list in here. It's a Facebook page where you can interact with other students, learn from them, help them along, and lots of people who are a few steps ahead of you or be there to help you with all of this, that if you have any questions and give you feedback. But that's why I'm so passionate about helping you get started today down a new, better path for you to live the life you desire. Whenever I see the guy, Jonathan Mizell, who got me involved in 2002, every time I see him, I give him a big hug and I say thank you because he helped change the direction of my life. And that's what I'd like to have, those stories, and to help change the direction of your life by sharing this with you. Because what good does it do for me to have all this knowledge? We're using it in our own businesses, but my passion is to help share this and help business owners all around the world to use these skills. So my question is, are you ready for this type of change in your life? Is this making sense to you? If it is, then go right now to clickandgrowrich.com/apply. And yes, I'm pushing you and nudging you because you can see the link on the page, but many of you just need to go and do that because if I don't nudge you, you might not do it. So hey, you're learning as well, guys. Hey, look, this is a pattern here. You want to ask people to act and ask for the order multiple times. So I want you to imagine real quick a loved one needed open heart surgery, and would you want to hire somebody who hadn't graduated medical school? See, all this information alone isn't enough. Do you want someone that just graduated medical school and given the instructional book on how to do heart surgery, or would you rather have somebody, heck no, you want somebody that has experience. You want somebody with experience who's actually done it like I have. You need tools, you need community, you need accountability, you need coaching, you need me alongside you for the next 180 days if you're going to build a successful online business that lasts. And once you make your first step by signing up and applying, you'll immediately get access, once you're approved, to our 30-day quick start program online at clickandgrowrich.com/apply. I've discovered that you can't be good at making money and excuses, as we talked about, but you can make a decision. So pick one. You can't have both. Excuses are sometimes hard to recognize, so they're brought to the surface, or until they are. And I have brought a lot of those up to the surface for your benefit. But here are some of the excuses that keep people poor. Hey, I can't afford it. That's not true. You decide and then you figure out the how. You don't need the money because you haven't decided that you're going to do it yet. If people gave up because of money, we'd still be in the Stone Age. If you don't have the resources, you have to be resourceful. Is that right? Think of a time you've had to be resourceful to get what you want. Do you consider yourself resourceful enough to make becoming a millionaire in less than 3 or 5 years a high priority in your life? Yes. Or is the excuse greater than your desire to change? I know the answer depends on whether you sign up or not at clickandgrowrich.com/apply. Find a why that's worth taking a chance for and making the resourcefulness happen in your life. Second excuse is I don't have the time. We've covered that. It says that you don't want to take down the effort of changing how you use your time right now because we all have the same amount of time. And therefore, what you currently have going on in your life is better than the effort to change it. Okay, you have things you can change in your life. That's just the truth. You and I know it's not true but if the excuse is greater than your desire to change, then you've just condemned yourself to a prison of mediocrity. And, I'm just going to ask you if your desire to change is greater than your excuses, you'll go ahead and sign up at clickandgrowrich.com/apply. We are adamant enemies of mediocrity, and we are creating a movement of financial freedom, hashtag freedom fighter, and you'll be hearing more about that in our book. Excuse number three, I don't have any experience. Well, you don't need experience. If you think about it, imagine you had this mentality as a baby and you gave it for the first time you tried to stand up and you failed or fell. You didn't need experience then. You learned as you went along. You might still be crawling around everywhere and have people taking care of you. You don't want that. Let's be honest. If it was possible, it can be learned. Airplanes fly, guys. They fly. We know that. If your airplane isn't flying, it means you're doing it wrong. And you can learn how with us. You're an amazing individual that beat out millions of other would-be yous around the time of your conception. Think about that. You can do this. You just need the blueprint of how to do it, which I'm giving you today at clickandgrowrich.com/apply. This isn't cheap because good things never are and cheap things are never good. And when deciding on creating the Click and Grow Rich program, we were faced with one of two choices. As I mentioned, the first choice is create a solution that catered to as many people in the market as possible. You're familiar with this approach because it's basically what everyone else does. We can figure out how to give you the bare minimum you need and attempt to control costs and make the investment easy as possible on your part. But that's not what we've done. Second option, which we have done, is we didn't start at price but focused on value. If we wanted to put every advantage we could put in your favor to make sure that your success was inevitable. And I love the concept of inevitability thinking. To err on the side of giving you so much value that it'd be impossible for anything other than to cause extra money to show up in your life, what would that be worth to you? What would that look like? Okay. Well, the problem with this approach is that it immediately turns off most of the market who only care about price and not about results. That's not who we want. However, as you can see what type of advantage this gives us, when you go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply, you can get all the answers and find out with one of our on the discovery call. You see, because we can truly engineer a one-of-a-kind solution, a solution that can't get anywhere else, that you can't get anywhere else from anywhere else, because we started with the question of what would it take to succeed. There's that inevitability thinking, which I learned from my mentor, Eben Pagan, at the altitude event I showed you earlier. Devoted all the resources we have, and we've devoted thousands of dollars and hours to this, to the answer, and then figured out how to get it to you in the most economical way possible. So this offer isn't for the entrepreneur or the wannabe or the person who only has some desire, a slight desire to get rich online with recurring monthly cash flow and potentially building wealth by selling multiple online businesses we have and investing that money in things like real estate. It's not for the wannabe, it's for the serious person who wants that. So going to the link below, you can get started. This is for the serious individual who won't let a price tag get in the way of lasting financial freedom, and breaking the chains of being a time and money slave to somebody else pursuing other people's dreams. Is that you? I think, how many of you want something better? Yes, what we have today costs a little bit more, but in the return, we can give you a lot more, and it isn't what's most important. Isn't that what's most important is your success, your results. Once you go through the Click and Grow Rich coaching program, starting at clickandgrowrich.com/apply, you'll see the difference the difference for yourself and how this time will be different for you. Even if you've tried other programs that didn't work, this is different. It'll allow you to finally break free and truly live a life of personal freedom. Your struggle of financial independence is real. We recognize that. When it's gone from your life, though, how will you feel? Think about that. How much better will your life be? Won't all the struggle be worth it? Wouldn't it be worth it? Well, the next step is it starts by signing up and applying at clickandgrowrich.com/apply to get started. I know, tough. I know how tough it is not having enough time or money in your life. It's more and more at a premium every day. Once you're free from that burden, but how will things be different for you? Find out by signing up and applying right now. Clickandgrowrich.com/apply and we'll get started. How much stress does working for less than your worth causing your mind and body right now? My magic wand that I told you earlier, let's say I just waved it. Look, it's gone. This program can help you do that. Can you feel a difference just thinking about it? That weight is gone. Well, let's make it happen for real. Sign up, apply at clickandgrowrich.com/apply right now. You have two choices. You can do nothing. Again, you're faced with one of two decisions. You can do the easiest is do nothing. Don't take a leap of faith. Don't invest in Click and Grow Rich coaching and settle for what you have now and get what you've always got. But the question is, how's that been working out for you so far? Your second choice is to pony up the small investment today. And yes, I said small because that's what it is. You compare it to all the value you get in return compared to what it's cost me to put together and the team and the investment we've made in this for you. Just give it a shot. If it works for you, keep it. If not, I'll give you your money back. I've given you 6 months to go through it and I was outlined here. So either way, you're invested in yourself. You've made creating freedom in your life a priority. And I've only seen people better off as a result of that. So you truly can't lose with this. Or you could do nothing and get nothing, as Aristotle said, and or you can get started today on a better path for your sake, your family, your health, and your freedom, all of the above. So here's what to do next. Open up your favorite browser right now, Chrome, Safari, whatever it is, put clickandgrowrich.com/apply into the browser address. Bring up the page where you'll see the application. Once the page loads, I want you to make note of the big countdown timer as I showed you. Once that timer is gone, you no longer have an opportunity. It's gone. We are only taking action takers. We know that's one of the first clues for success. So when that thing hits zero, you'll find you'll miss out on the page and that page will be gone. The doors will be closed. And it's important. So it's important you act right now. You've got 2 hours from when this webinar ends and we're just about to the end. And if you're still here, look, listen, what I've been able to do here is nothing special when you consider the facts I've spent the last 18 years of my life using trial and error to discover the secrets that I can give you today for a relatively small investment, all things considered. I have nothing special. I've just had more time and effort into this, and I'm now able to share it with you. I'm not of above average intelligence. I was given good genes, and my father was a PhD. But I'm unemployable. I wasn't blessed with any above average or skill. I just learned this and really implemented, and now, I'm sharing it with you. I didn't have any other advantages going other than the ability to work hard, fail often, and never give up. So if you're a quitter and you're not going to see it through, then don't apply. But if you're really ready to make lasting change in your life, then go ahead, apply. clickandgrowrich.com/apply, and you can do the same thing I've done. You can go out there and spend countless hours dealing with stress, headaches, early failures, strained relationships, making all the same mistakes I did. My question is, why would you do that? Why would you do that when you can shave thousands of hours of headache and heartache in your life by simply exchanging a small amount of money for my roadmap to immediate success? Breeze past the pitfalls as I give you the essence of my thousands of hours of experience so that you can have the shortcut your path to success in a matter of hours or days instead of months and years. When you look at it like that, I don't think you'll disagree, and I think you will agree with me that you're getting the deal of a lifetime when you sign up today with Click and Grow Rich Coaching and get started on your new path today. Because again, this is about you and how we can help you move along. Some experts say that most people encounter a truly life-changing opportunity that could make them rich twice in their lifetime, only twice. You may have 2 opportunities in your life to really make a lifetime change and an opportunity. And the question is, you should be asking yourself, is this your first chance or your last? What matters most right now is that you make a decision. Make a decision if this makes sense for you and then figure out the how. As I've said over and over again, decide first, then you figure out the how, and we're here to help you. But does anybody want to know real quick example, how I was able to spend a week with Richard Branson on his island? Okay, quick story, along with 19 other entrepreneurs. I showed you photos earlier, and it all started with a decision and figuring out the how. Okay, so here's how I did it. There was an opportunity to go. I said, I'm in. And then they said it was $45,000. Well, I could have written a check, but I couldn't justify it mentally. So I didn't go. And my friends went. They had amazing time and they had amazing experience hanging out with Richard Branson. And they, more importantly, had business deals that more than paid for it. So when the opportunity came up again the following year, they said, we have one more chance. I had this moment of elation. I said, okay, I have another chance, followed by despair because the financial crisis had hit. It was even worse time to go. We were laying people off and cutting back. But something inside of me, I just said, I'm not going to let circumstance dictate. I said, I'm going to go. I decided, I said, I'm damn it, I'm going to go. And then I changed my questions and thinking. And I said, all right, well, how do I do it? Well, I need $45,000. Well, how do I do that? Well, all I need is 45 sales at $1,000. Well, how do I do that? Well, we bundled $7,000 of courses. I put on a suit and tie and shot a video. It said, I am the president of the company. We're a charitable-minded company, which we are. And I said, we're going to, for the first 45 people only, we're going to sell these courses worth $7,000 for $1,000 for the first 45 people only. 47 took the offer, 2 canceled, and there was the $45,000, all because they decided and figured out the how, and that's where each and every one of you are at right now. So you can decide. Go apply at clickandgrowrich.com/apply, and then we will help you figure out the how together. But by now you know if this is for you or not, and if it's not, that's perfectly fine. If it is, then go ahead and apply at the link below. If you decided that you need to do this, we're here to make it possible, but only if you have made that decision. When you go over to clickandgrowrich.com/apply, you'll be shown several options. You can either pay in full, and actually this is not available. We're only taking applications. You'll have to talk to the decision makers and the discovery call, but you have to make a decision right now. We're only taking 100 applicants right now. I've seen quite a few come in. Frankly, not everybody will be accepted. This is the simple truth. We can recognize by now the people that quit, the people that are not likely to succeed, but we don't want you to determine that and rule yourself out, because many great ideas have come from people that originally didn't think they could do it. So after you take care of your application, you'll have to go through an interview with our team and discovery call and answer several questions to make sure we're a good fit together. If not, no hard feelings. But this special introductory pricing will go up to $10,000. It's at the $4,000 discount now. As part of our preliminary marketing launch, we're offering a $4,000 discount at $5,997, as we've talked about, for new student applications, so that we can gather feedback and work with these students to perfect the experience, and then it'll go back up. The normal price of this program is $10,000, but if you're watching this presentation today, you can take advantage of our $4,000 discount by applying below until the countdown timer runs out at clickandgrowrich.com/apply. So invest in your future today by going to the link below. It's $5,997 or 12 payments of $500. If you can't do $500 for 12 payments, then this may or may not be for you. But again, we have options for you if you decide and you're passionate about this. We're here to help you. So I'm going to close with a video shortly. This is our student, Susie Bauer. You can see her right below saying, if you haven't signed up for Click and Grow Rich just yet, do it. Just do it. These guys are going to help you get there quicker, faster, and with less pain. Just be prepared to do the work. Now, we've made the work so much easier with our new online platform, but she says you'll be rewarded handsomely. Okay, so listen to Susie. I'm going to leave with this and let you listen to her video. You'll hear for her yourself what she has to say, and then we are out of time. The timer is starting now. You have 2 hours to go to clickandgrowrich.com/apply. And with this, I'd like to say thank you.
Hi, I'm Susie Bauer, and I live in Johannesburg, South Africa. I met Brett and Daniel 2 years ago at a big event, all about internet marketing, at a time when I felt I had to revive my marketing career. I didn't really know what I was signing up for, but I got to know the guys, and we did a 2-day Click and Grow Rich course. From there, I've grown on to have 2 years of mentorship, and I've developed the most amazing lifestyle, the most amazing business. I've found the most incredible experience through this learning, and I think I've found my gift. I love coaching people, and I would probably never have learned this if I hadn't met these guys and started this journey. Well, my company's called Red Matchstick Marketing because I ignite small business marketing, and I love red. I think it's power, and I dress for power, and I bring power to my clients. I decided the internet was an interesting business to get into because my husband and I have a love for travel, and we do a lot of touring in classic cars. And we've traveled, for example, to the equator in Kenya, and at that time I had to take 2 months leave to do this trip. And now I'm doing a very similar thing and taking my job with me wherever I go. And the freedom it's brought me is just fantastic. I just love my mobile lifestyle. I work out of a car. Can you believe it? I travel when it suits me. I don't do rush hour. I sit by the pool when everyone else is inhaling smoke fumes. Joining Click and Grow Rich taught me to extend myself. I think that was probably the biggest thing I learned, was to find out that there's so much out there, and so many of us have got opportunities we don't even realize are out there. We live in our little worlds, and Brett and Daniel have stretched me and really given me the opportunity to find something I probably never would have otherwise. I've done this thing on a shoestring because I basically gave up a professional executive marketing career to go on this journey. And for 2 years, I've done most of this on a shoestring. Through Brett and Daniel, I've found shortcuts that have saved me money. I've found lots of inexpensive and free tools. The Sardex system has saved me a living fortune. So it's really the way to go. You can start up a business without big investment. I think Click and Grow Rich is good for any business. The fact that you've got people who are at the front line of what's happening in marketing in the real world, where South Africa is following slowly behind, gives us a break and gives us the opportunity to be at the front line of what's happening in the bigger picture. I think internet business is just starting to hit South Africa. One is starting to see e-commerce websites that are becoming much more effective. People are designing apps in South Africa, but the stuff is still not at the level that online customers and users want to see. And I think Click and Grow Rich give us the opportunity to just jump that little faster ahead. It's unbelievable, the opportunity, especially with what's happening to the rand, to be able to sell outside South Africa from your home, from your car, from your computer, is just the most amazing opportunity. And look where I'm sitting. This is my office. I'm sitting here about to have a sundowner after a great day's work. I'm not even remotely stressed because I haven't been sitting in traffic. I've had the most wonderful day at work. Fresh air, peace, tranquility, birds in the background, my dog's next to me. It's just the most amazing way to work, and just look at the birds in the sky flying over me. That's a message. Well, we just have this unusual lifestyle where we travel at the drop of a hat, and somebody just has to look at us sideways and we're in a car going somewhere. And before, that was a difficult thing to do because I had to apply for leave, sometimes could go with, sometimes couldn't go with. So our lifestyle has changed completely, and the quality of time we have together has just made the most enormous difference to my relationship, the time I spend with my four-legged children, my husband, friends and family. It's just changed my whole life. If you haven't signed up for Click and Grow Rich, just do it. These guys are going to help you get there quicker, faster, and with a lot less pain. It's not easy. Just be prepared to do the work, and you'll be rewarded handsomely.